It's a long way to the finish line, got a hard road ahead. Anybody gonna stand in my way is gonna wish they were dead. Cause I'm gonna take knocks in the rain, any locks gonna keep me from this door. Won't be shut out anymore. I'm gonna light like fire, I'm coming down like rain. I'm gonna break down barriers, I'm gonna play through the pain. I'm gonna rise like a phoenix, I'm gonna fight through the flame. The devil won't drag me down, cause I'm done, I'm all done playing games. I don't know when the job will be done, and the way isn't clear. Gotta stand against what I know's wrong, gotta face all my fears. But I won't take knocks and there ain't any locks gonna keep me from this door. Won't be shut out anymore. I'm gonna light like fire, I'm coming down like rain. I'm gonna break down barriers, I'm gonna play through the pain. I'm gonna rise like a phoenix, I'm gonna fight through the flame. The devil won't drag me down, cause I'm done, all done playing games. It's a long way to the finish line, got a hard road ahead. Anybody gonna stand in my way is gonna wish they were dead. Cause I'm gonna take knocks in the rain, any locks gonna keep me from this door. Won't be shut out anymore. I'm gonna light like fire, I'm coming down like rain. I'm gonna break down barriers, I'm gonna play through the pain. I'm gonna rise like a phoenix, I'm gonna fight through the flame. The devil won't drag me down, cause I'm done, I'm all done playing games. I don't know when the job will be done, and the way isn't clear. Gotta stand against what I know's wrong, gotta face all my fears. But I won't take knocks and there ain't any luck.
Alright, good morning ladies and gentlemen. Technically it's afternoon already, right here at the city of Benin, Edo State, where we have the finals of the Edo State Cricket League right here at the Edo State High Performance Center at the Law. And earlier in the day we had the toss, which was won by A.A.U University, and they elected to field first. Yesterday we saw the two semi-finals. The first semi-finals was between the Under-17 Cricket Club and the No Limits Cricket Club, and which the Under-17 Cricket Club were so dominant and superior over the No Limits Cricket Club. And the second game, which proved to be explosive, was between Ambrose Ali University, A.A.U, and Dolphins Cricket Club. I have with me here Coach Ute. Coach Ute, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's good to have you here in the midst.
Absolutely delighted.
So a quick one, you've seen the league right from the inception, and you've played almost in, let me say, almost in all leagues around the country.
Yeah.
What would you say is totally different from the league right here in Edo?
Well, first things you want to look at is developing league, because we must defer to the elite league that takes place in Lagos, where you see all the stars. The clubs have autonomy, the clubs have spending power to get the best players from around the country. The league here is a little bit more developmental, whereby there is a bit of regulation with regards to the number of overseas players that can play in each team.
So just to cut you, overseas, when you mean overseas, do you mean cricketers from South Africa, cricketers from Uganda, Ghana and the rest?
We just try to hype ourselves by using that word, but you mean players that have not grown in Edo setup.
All right, that's quite understandable.
So what you find here now is that the initial idea is to encourage play among locals and develop talents. So we've got to admit that you won't call it the top flight league in the country as at now, in terms of the number of spread of all the quality players in the country participating. So what is on show here is the best of Edo. That's what I would like.
Yeah, so arguably a lot of people have said Edo State cricket in general focuses more on developmental structure. Would you say the inclusion of the under-17 team to the league has actually paid off?
It has paid off because in terms of the state's development plan to grow its age grade team, the team have been together, there's cohesion, they're well drilled, and it's like they've mopped up the best young athletes.
Okay.
On the other side, on the flip side, the drawback is that most of the other teams now are playing catch up because they are mainly the laid back cricketers lumped up in various teams here and there, and they turn up and play Saturday. So if some close watchers have said, if maybe you didn't have the under-17s as a group playing in the club and they are split into all the other clubs, we might have a competition whereby you couldn't just put your bet on one team.
Oh, okay.
So that's just on the other side. But the development side, in terms of Edo State raising their age grade team, it has paid off massively in that aspect.
All right, then the first ball has just been bowled, and that is a wide. That's not a very good way to start the final from the opening bowler. I'm sure the captain Victory would have a discussion with him and tell him, you know what, you need to keep dropping the ball where it's needed to be. Just a quick one, coach. One of the national team opening bowler is currently playing for the under-17 and also the captain of the under-17. Do you think his inclusion in that under-17 has actually brought the morale of the side?
It has. Did you say increased
the morale? Yes,
it has. It has. 16-year-old Prosper Hussaini, precocious, you would say, and he has whipped up so much following in the school here. He's a student of this Edo Boys High School, and I find him, one of the guys that we want to watch out for in this tournament to make or break for the under-17 team. He's going to show strong character, and then that will help his team.
Right.
Alongside him, you will have to watch out for somebody like Selim Salahu, David Abiebode, and of course the leg spinner Joshua Asia. So let's see how it turns out, because the A.A.U players are no pushovers. I'm happy to really see the inclusion of Ridwan
Abdul Karim.
I was really impressed with the way he played yesterday. He turned up here and showed class with the bat and inspired his team with the leg spin. And there is also Boniface Emmanuel from Kaduna. It was impressive to see how he weighed into with his off spin and Buccaneering batting to finish things off. Then of course Victory, their captain, and Miracle Solomon, who's been in the runs lately. I hear he must be right there at the top of the batting load. Back-to-back 50s last weekend, and so the final has been set up between I would say the two teams with most hunger we've seen
in the sides.
on the side. Yeah.
So the two batters batting are Chiemele Solomon and David. Chiemele Solomon on strike, and the bowler is Idiaka Silas.
That's Chilemaya.
Chilemaya, apologies.
That young brother to Destiny.
Oh.
You know Destiny?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's really quite good. Having brothers play cricket is one of the best things that has happened in Nigerian cricket. We'll go way back with the Owuzulike brothers.
Yes.
Then you have the Adibolas. You have
even way back. You want to talk about the Segos?
Segos. Yeah, that's where I was actually going to.
Yeah.
So it's one of the best things you can have in Nigerian cricket, having brothers. Having brothers playing, and currently now we have the Okwe brothers, who are doing extremely well for the country, both local and international.
Indeed. They are loyal servants of the game for Nigeria. So we have number 8 for
A.A.U. That's Idiaka Silas.
Idiaka Silas. Okay. Did you see the ball shaping away slightly? I don't know.
Not really. I think what he needs to do is he's trying to get his rhythm into the fourth stump. Now his bowling is much closer into the bat.
Hint of outswing, you would say?
Yeah, a little bit. Too much of an in-swing, and giving the batsman enough room to swing the bat and have a go at him. What I would have expected him to do is, if he's going to have such bowling like that, he should have a protection. Have 2 slips, 1 gully.
Yes.
Have 2 slips, 1 gully. Then have a shorter covers, and then have an extra cover. You don't need a mid-wicket at this point in time, because obviously the batsman was not going to flash it towards that. It's the end of the first over, ladies and gentlemen, and it's 5 runs.
5 runs. Well, moderate start, I would say.
Very good moderate start from the side. Doing a 5 runs per over.
What options they have from the other end. Oh, they're going spinning.
Victory, I won't be surprised. We'll be the one to open. Do that.
He gets the ball, captain. Victory. All right, let's see what plays out now. He's gentle off spin. He's going to fight, I reckon.
He has to bowl the captain's innings because yesterday he was really a little bit down with himself. I had a discussion with him after the game. He said the morale of the team, even while they were playing, was a little bit down. So he took all the pressure on himself as the captain, and he was saying he didn't do very well. I still told him, look, it's cricket. You just played as a captain, and there's nothing you could do about it. But the point is, you're playing at the finals is all you need. I would say him coming into bowl right now would be a very good start for his side, but he needs to bowl dot balls.
What's your take on the pitch? From your end, have you been able to assess Brownie slow turning pitch? What did you assess? What assessment do you have for this pitch?
So basically, the last time we were here was for the state championships and the PWC under 17s. I would say it still plays the same way it's playing. I understand perfectly well that this pitch is a spinner's pitch. So for Victory coming in to go early on in the game, knows very well that he understands the pitch and knows that the more you use spin,
you take the pace off the ball.
You take the pace off the ball. And knowing truly well in Nigeria, not every batter knows how to play spin. So this will be a good test for the under 17s. As by Tuesday they would be heading towards the Abuja for the PWC. Too much width there from Victory.
And the square court.
It's coming from around. So if he's coming from around, what I expect him to still have is 2 slips, backward of points, and extra covers.
He has a deep mid-wicket and a long on as his 2 outfielders for the power play. I think he's expecting these guys to have a whack.
Played over his head.
Maybe that's why he has the cover there. Now, is it fair to say we are still trying to design what we will call the Nigerian wicket So, for example, you say when you go to Australia, green, racy pitches. You go to India, slow turning wickets. Where are we with regards to our own? We have a number of pitches in the country, and what's playing out really? If you may ask.
First thing first, I would say we're just starting. We're just beginning to understand how tough wicket is.
Okay.
Well, I would say at this stage we are at the construction level.
Okay.
We have not gone to where you now have groundsmen who would say, okay, you know what, I need to prepare a grassy pitch,
Okay.
or I need to prepare a slower pitch, or I need to prepare a faster pitch, or I need to prepare a flat pitch.
Okay.
A good example is in New Zealand. I support New Zealand, so
Okay.
I understand most of the fields in New Zealand.
Okay.
They have grassy pitch at some Christchurch is a
Okay.
grassy pitch.
It's a grassy pitch.
So you
okay.
know, if you're going in there, you're going in with a full batting squad.
Okay.
Because obviously the balls would hold back.
We'll hold back. Okay.
So that's where you see New Zealand play, or any team coming to play at that field use a lot of spinners
Okay.
on that field. So if you're going to be playing on the flat pitch that you have in the last T20 in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE, you know, obviously it can actually help with a lot of pace and all.
Pace,
but
yes.
I would say in Nigeria, what we should focus on is creating a flat pitch where it doesn't favor both the batter
or the bowler.
So in a situation where you have to travel out of the country and you find yourself in such situations, you just know that, look, this is the condition of the pitch. So by the time you change to another pitch, you already have an idea of what
adjustment.
exactly.
Another thing I think is worthy for discussion is the participation of our should be happy about.
Just like I keep telling people, Lagos League is still one of the best league in West Africa.
Yeah.
And I must say I'm privileged to still be playing in that league.
Okay.
And it's been one of the best competitive cricket league you can actually have.
Yeah.
And also, the leagues all around the country are gradually picking up. Now, the reason is this: they understand the fact that you need to play enough games. The problem, I think the challenge we have in Nigeria is weather. At this period, we're getting into the raining season, which means it gets to a point cricket needs to go on hold. For probably 3 to 4 months.
4 months.
And then it means we need to start looking at indoor cricket, just like they have in Australia and in New Zealand. So if you want people to keep playing cricket continuously, you need to consider indoor cricket as well. Outdoor cricket, yes, but when it goes on break, everybody just go back to their shell. It's only few players that actually continue doing training. And that's majorly the national team players. The rest of the guys who are playing on the club level will just go back and sit back and wait till after the rainy season again. And then they come back and all.
Still too early to call this game, the direction it's going. The batting appears to be settling in, while the fielding side is trying to work out a way to making routes.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I would say what I would love to see is the under-17 posting above 100 or 120 score.
Yeah.
And see how the response of the Ambrose Ali University Cricket Club will be. How would they be able to chase whatever they have paused on the 17 too. And looking at the batting line, batting of on the 17, the two openers, they are probably doing very well. Playing,
taking it simple, compact, keeping the bat straight. No, not much risk for now. I can see.
Yeah, definitely not risk. But understanding what the bowler is doing and probably waiting for his loose balls,
yeah.
The one he bowls outside the off stump and then take advantage of any loose ball. Just like that.
I think that one was good.
And that has raced all the way to the boundary for 4. This ball, I would probably tell Victory, if I happen to be the captain, take him off. He's bowling too much weight for the batter. Yeah, second over. I would take him off. He's bowling too much weight to the batters, allowing the batters to get comfortable, and it's not really good in terms of cricket as a fielding side when you have a batsman playing his shots.
You're welcome.
Playing his shots regularly.
Yeah.
That should be a white ball.
No.
White ball it is.
When I don't know, sometimes the teams, with the way teams face up to the under-17s, I've noticed in the league, is it that there is that sort of respect, so much respect, and teams who ordinarily, bowlers ordinarily bowling against another team, you see them tearing away. Idika Salas is one of the guys that, has turned up figures that's really impressive. But so far, I haven't seen one ball that looks like a wicket-taking ball.
That's why I said if I happen to be victory, I'll take him off. Keep him to probably after the 10th over, and try to use experienced bowlers now. He has Boniface.
They have Boniface,
and they have
Miracle
Ridwan,
Solomon,
Miracle Solomon, yeah. So
I think it's basically a spin attack they've gone with the A.A.U team.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be good. We've seen victory when he came into bowl. Apart from the one loose ball he bowled.
You see, that's a 6. That's a 6.
Lovely 6 there.
Oh no.
And now you could see the batters are playing off the pace of the bowler. So if I were victory, I'd rather just cut him off now and look for a medium pace bowler. Because he's now made the two batters comfortable picking the balls.
Well set now. We should be cross 20 now, and that's inside the third over, gone past 20.
26 with the last ball to be bowled.
So again, it's a platform already being built. So now how do they call back the game? That's where we are now. We've got to call the game back now. Under pressure, straight away fielding side. So like we were saying, the involvement of under 19s, because now the World Cup is done. So the build up to the next under 19 qualifiers straight away is off the blocks.
Yeah.
And it's impressive to see that while we have the last group of under 19s that were obviously the rookies in that tournament, 14 of them newcomers and eggheads in that tournament. Now we've seen most of them, I can say off my fingers that like 12 or 13 of them have participated in all the leagues. And they're having match practice, they're having game time. And then you have this under 17 boys, some of them playing in the under 17 tournament. So you put all that together, I think we're beginning to see the evolution of a stronger and a more competitive under 19 squad evolving.
You're definitely right, coach, but the big question is the under 19s is not a T20 game. The under 19 is 50 overs.
That's
game.
the issue now.
Now, the question is what approach should young lads like that have with the 50 over format of the game? They've played all around the years with the format, with the shorter version of the game.
Yeah.
So it means if your opening bowlers or your opening batsmen cannot stay in there and understand how 50 overs is being played, it becomes a problem. Every one of them could get bowled within 20 overs with 100 runs probably on board. So it means if you're going to be having teams like the under 17s and the under 19 competitions, I would advise it's best to keep it at the ODI level. Lost ball bowled by victory, giving the batsman a very good comfortable way to play the square court shot, and a good fielding chase by the fielder at point to prevent it from going to the boundary.
Apparently the opening bowlers seem to be like down the pecking order in terms of quality. He has gone for the lowest. Because I would imagine that in a game like this, if you're going to bowl, start with spin, I would reckon that your best spinner would be the national team bowler. For me, if you want to go with spin. So is he thinking that, okay, let me soften things up earlier on and come with the big one at the back? I don't know. What idea?
My take is he just needs to put protection for himself. Personally, the man at mid-wicket, the batters has not played a single ball to the leg side all through.
Yes.
So I don't think he needs any man at mid-wicket. What he needs to do is bring the man at mid-wicket in and have deep extra covers. Have backward of points. He needs to have two protections. He needs to have two protections on the offside.
How consistent has been his line and length?
Now we could see from his second over, he's been bowling it on the third and the fourth stump.
Yes.
So it means the batters will not cross bat. They would keep playing. This is what I just said now. Look at him. He's been playing too much width on the fourth stump. And the batters have not gone to play across. They've been playing the square cut shot. And you only have backward of points. It means once the ball beats backward of points, there's no protection for him at the back. 4 overs gone.
4 overs in. Where are we?
31 runs.
Wow. Well,
Not the good starts.
Well, they have a change now, and who comes in? That's number. Okay.
Jersey number 20.
20, and that's okay.
The batters are getting comfortable. Too comfortable, I would say, as David is 6 runs off 4 balls, and Solomon has been explosive from the very first goal.
He's been enforcing, and I think he has a mandate there to really go after the bowling. I think he has that mandate from his coach.
Yeah, he's 16 runs off 20 balls.
Okay.
That's really, really on the high side.
There.
The new bowler is Erabo.
Okay. A.A.U. 20. Okay.
Now I think I understand. I can practically understand the strategy of Ambrose Ali bowling it on the 4th stump and yet not having protection on the offside.
Why do they insist on having the mid wicket, deep mid wicket, and the long on? Is it that they are expecting these guys to
play the crossbar shots? But you've seen them for the last 4 overs have not even played one across the line.
Across the line.
So it's best you just take the gamble, push your mid wicket in.
The other time, the guy got a 6, but it was a neatly played on drive for 6.
Exactly. 4th stump line again, and you don't have a deep square. You don't have an extra covers. Even if you're not going to have an extra covers, have 2 covers.
So
That way, it will be easier for the batsman. Now, if you want him to cross, to hit the cross bat, to play the cross bat shot, have 2 covers if you can't have the extra covers.
So fair to say they're looking at damage limitation. From what I see, the choice of bowling. So he wants to manage his resources to keep his best bowlers for the slog session, which should be the bottom 10 or bottom 7 overs.
But at this point in time, keeping your best bowlers for the last 10-15 overs of the game isn't going to be worth it, because the 2 batters have settled in, and it means if they keep going at this, the under 17 would have wicket at hand to now go after your best bowlers.
After your best bowling. Well, I think that's just probably you will say the mark of the under 17s, a well drilled side, the practice, the culture of the work ethics is pretty high for them, and I think it bodes well for the state and for the country too, that you have these guys having to be among those who will contribute to the overall national plan as we plan to go forward for the internationals. Okay. A few dot balls coming in now. They're trying to sort of get some few dot balls in, and that will help stem the flow.
So I would have said, since you've seen the approach of the batsman, your mid-off should actually drop down and bring your mid wickets in.
Okay. So some bit of sanity coming now to proceedings.
Yes, you're definitely right.
Bit of sanity coming now.
End of the over.
5th over.
5 overs gone, 37 runs on board. Okay. 7.66 runs per over.
Okay.
That's
setting
definitely
up for the loss of none.
That's definitely a good run rate.
It's setting up now to be a good final, I guess. Because you see, it's always good when you have big games like this. Runs are put on board, so it gives everyone something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely something to look forward to, and it will be good to see the under-17s have a very good total at the end of their innings, to have something to go at, to defend when the second innings gets on the way. Because at this point you'll be asking yourself, why is Victory still bowling?
You want to bet? Is it captain's bet too or something?
He should just drop himself. He has considered a lot of runs.
Oh dear.
Coming from around. Now this is what I'm talking about. Look at that lovely lofted shot. No movement. One bounce four. You don't bowl around for a batter who is comfortable playing the straight bat.
Now that brings the question. Now you want to ask the psychology of it. Is he overwhelmed by the situation? You want to ask?
I'm sorry to say this, a lot of people might not agree with me. I don't think he has an idea of the strategy he wants to play. I'm sorry, but I really need to understand what
he's overwhelmed by the game, by the fact that it's the final, the big final, the boss is here, everybody is here, so he needs to, put up a show or something. I don't know.
Now he has a few changes.
Okay, now he has the long off backing and
still has a mid-wicket that has not done anything all through today. Now look at what I'm talking about again.
Goes to extra square, one bounce four again. I think he has his work cut out now. Fair to say, this is a test of character for him as captain.
Exactly. Because you and I have been able to establish the fact that for the last 4 overs, they have not played, apart from the one played on towards for a bounce 6.
Yes.
Every other shot has been on the off.
They are in the V all the time, straight bat.
Which personally to me, as being the captain, it's easier for me to set the field for the batsman. Now he finally decides to take a go,
and that one goes also.
Go for 1 bounce 4.
Again, 3 fours.
Back-to-back fours.
I think it's getting buzzers now for the A.A.U.
Victory has no idea of what he's doing. I must say this. He has no idea of what he's doing.
Now the thing is this: when you come under the pump like this, it requires innate ability to think outside the box and do something different. So let's see what he comes up with. Let's see his response.
Straight again, allows the batsman
now you
to
can
hit.
See, I told you that this batsman has a mandate to enforce.
Coach, 4 fours,
yes.
4 back-to-back
something
fours.
special.
2 more balls to be bowled. Victory is losing the idea. Now he has given the under-17 a quick speed to 49 runs.
Inside 6 overs.
In 6 overs.
Now, this brings a question of when the captain comes under the pump. Imagine a Pat Cummins, for example. Do you see such a thing? A Pat Cummins captain, bowler for Australia, he holds the ball and the team is in trouble. The batting side will be in trouble. That's the
difference between a pace bowler and a spinner. As a pace bowler, he has every right to bowl at his pace and he knows the field sets to do. You're bowling a spin and it's not yet the power play over. And you are bowling from around. That's where the major problem I have with Victory is. He's bowling from around. It gives the batsman, these 2 batters, enough hand to swing their bat. I'm quite surprised that the 2 batters decided to go for a block in the last 2 balls. They had gone all the way, they would have just been scoring the runs.
So they got 4 fours in that over. Big one at that. That takes us now.
Coach, it's 55 for the loss of no wickets in 6 overs. The run rate now is at 9.17. This is really not what Ambrose Ali
we're
looking forward to. Now they know that the character and the test has come to play to the captain of the side. Now he needs to personally drop himself, and I would say if I happen to be him, I would start rotating my bowlers.
Of course.
I would not stick to one bowler for one end. I'll use one here, bring in 2 other bowlers and rotate them in different ends. Do not allow the batters to get set to start playing them, because right now it means that the batters are ready to go at any bowler that bowls.
And the field setting again, I think he has to. Okay, the problem. Oh no.
Wrong.
Okay.
Miscommunication by the two
In
batters.
the last over, A.A.U managed 3 dot balls, which I thought was bringing sanity to proceedings. Then again, things went pear-shaped in the next over. So let's see if he can call things back.
Is that a white ball? Yes,
ball.
white ball. I wouldn't expect them to be bowling it on the 4th stump. Now I would expect them as bowlers to start attacking the wicket. Bowl wicket to wicket line. Set your long on, long off. Now you're on the power play. You can actually open up your field. Now he's decided to have an extra covers.
Oh no.
Very well played. Picked off the pads. Perfect timing. Took one step away from the middle stump and played it for a boundary. 4 runs, that is. The under 17 openers are getting comfortable.
I told you
with the
earlier
bowlers.
that I suspect this native tactics of, oh, let me keep my best bowlers for the slog session, last 10. Because obviously on this field you can see that Boniface and Ridwan, who are his important players, they are his pro players in our local parlance here. If you bring your pro players and you are in problem, they are expected to rescue you.
Yeah, definitely. But
So-
I'm probably guessing he might understand that he needs to cut himself. Lovely cut, lovely square
So
cut.
I don't know what he wants to do. He has 8 overs from those 2 guys to salvage things. So when he wants to introduce them is what we are.
He needs
Just
to bring them
looking
in.
forward to.
He needs to bring them in now. If he needs to take wickets. That's what he needs now. A change of, if a wicket drops now, by probably put pressure on the 2 batters. It's good to have fresh batters in the middle.
Okay.
Don't have 2 batters who are comfortable already, because
Yeah.
these guys, if they continue this way to get to the 10th over, they would go all out, and no matter the bowler you bring in at that point in time, is just gonna go at them. And with the way I see the 2 batters doing, our volley short of a good length,
Yeah.
short balls, they will start dispatching them. So if they are going to be doing anything different now, they need to bowl wicket to wicket, middle stump to middle stump, off stump to off stump. Do not bowl any width.
But I expect that normal cricket dictum suggests that you won't just lie down and be rolled over. You have to find a solution. So from somewhere. You have to find a solution from somewhere. So I expect the fielding side to jiggle things around, throw in something special, something different. I don't expect Victory to bowl flat out. It's 7 overs.
He seems like he wants to bowl flat out, or I think he's calling Ridwan to bowl. I think there's a communication. Yeah, he's calling Ridwan now. Now
Okay.
he decided that, which is what I expect him to do. Cut himself off. Ridwan Abdul Karim
So
now.
Ridwan has
the
4
attack.
overs to create something. He's got to create something. You know, that's what we expect. It's 6 overs in. I mean, is that 6 or 7?
7 overs gone.
60?
60 runs on board.
Okay.
You could see that these guys are getting comfortable. 70 runs on board is 60
That's
runs on
huge.
board is a huge total before the 10th over.
The 60 in already. Well, you see, that's the beauty of cricket. Can something happen? Can we have a biscuit break? What we usually say in cricket.
We possibly could. We've seen situations
things
where
happen.
the 2 batters get so comfortable. That's the opening batsmen
And-
get comfortable, and before you know it, wickets start dropping back to back to back to back to back in less than 100.
And again, that also says what's happening in the pavilion. The pavilion can get so relaxed and complacent that, oh, today's a big day for us, and people drop their guards at the pavilion. And the incoming batters may just be thinking it's business as usual, forgetting that they need to also play themselves in.
Guess you're right, coach.
You know, so let's see what happens. What brings out a wicket is the magic is Ridwan. Ridwan is a big game player to me. I expect him to do something.
Ridwan Abdul Karim now into the attack
Yeah.
to bowl. First ball. Played up over
no.
silly mid off. Straight to the man at deep extra covers, but 1 run it is. That's Miracle Solomon throwing the ball.
Okay, so field placement is another key issue
So
here.
what I would have expected Victory to do is allow the experience or the senior players of the side to also chip
Help
in.
out.
Boniface, Ridwan and the rest. Ridwan actually has set his field himself. He has a deep mid wicket, has a long off, a long on, and an extra covers, which is perfect field setting for an for a leg spinner. And you could see he's doing it perfectly well. But what I would have expected him to do is to move the man at silly mid on backwards. Tell the man to take 2 steps backwards and move to his right.
What could be the reason for silly mid on in any case?
He's probably I think what he's looking at is allowing the batters to drive, and which is what the batter has done. 2 balls he has faced, and he has driven it down. So, and every 2 balls he has played to the right hand, which I believe is the strong hand of the man at silly mid on. So why not just move the man to covers proper, since he has protection at the back? Just move him to covers proper and allow the batsman to force himself to try and drive the ball. There's every possibility that the batter can pump it up into the air.
Okay. From your weight of experience, Yomi, where do you think, is there any issue with regards to where the captain should field in crisis moments like this? Because I can see that Victory has thrown himself to deep mid wicket. He's out of sync. I don't know. What do you think?
That's the best option he has to do. He has to take himself to the boundary.
Okay. To cool off.
To cool off. To have an idea of re-strategizing. Let me use that word. It's to cool off. Because if he stays asleep, so everybody would have said he should stay at mid off.
Okay.
Stay at sleep. So I personally wouldn't. If I had to be captain, I'll just drop myself down to mid wicket
and let things roll.
And just try and understand what have I done wrong. Just quickly remunerate and understand. And in the next 3 overs, just allow.
Oh no! Something happens.
Drifting down the leg side.
Questions asked there.
Yeah, Ridwan, experienced spinner. At this point in time, if I were him, what I would do is this: I'll bowl Boniface and Ridwan flat out.
Straight.
Drop the run rate.
Yes, just to try and call things back.
I'll blow them flat out. 8 overs. You guys give me 8 overs. Cut the run rate. The moment those guys cut the run rate, it put pressure back to the batting side. Which is what Ridwan has been doing.
Ridwan has got like 4 dot balls now and 3 dot balls. So let's assume that a bit of stability is coming back to the fielding.
Believe you me or not, coach, Ridwan has only conceded 4 runs in 6 balls, which is technically very good. As a spinner, your first over.
In the first over, 4 runs. Oh no, that's top of the range. Honestly, in the light of what has happened, that's the beginning of redemption.
Exactly. What Victory should be asking himself now is he needs dot balls. Dot balls matters now.
For sure.
Now you could see he's still pushing himself back to the boundary. I think he understands that, just like he said yesterday, he put himself too much under pressure.
Okay.
And now I think he has carried that pressure again back onto the field today.
I'm absolutely amazed at how he can walk from deep mid wicket to long on across the line. Is he decide to say, okay, I am to be blamed, so I punish myself? Oh, I don't know.
White ball, bold.
He has given himself a long trek.
At this point in time, I would probably cut Ridwan off. Oh, good fielding there from the man at short mid wicket. At this point in time, I would bring Boniface from that end.
From the other end.
And then cut.
Boniface has 4. Remember?
Yes, I'll cut. What I'll do is, Erabor, I would stop making him bowl, hold him for 1 more over, and allow Ridwan come from this end and Boniface from that end.
From the other end.
So which means a lovely square cut there, and that has raced all the way to the boundary for 4. No protection for A.A.U at slips. And at this point in time, the boundaries just seems not to stop. They keep coming back to back to back.
It looks like it's a day of batting, to be honest.
It's a day of batting, definitely.
It's a day of batting because the pitch is flat to me. I can't see any life. Maybe the bowlers with strong shoulders can get us to see something, because for now the spinners haven't bowled anything I would say that is, really asking tough questions.
Full toss.
That's a
Very
full
well
toss.
played by the batter to find Ridwan at extra covers.
Oh no, mix up again.
How would you
Buzzers.
try to throw that? You weren't. There was no
Oh no,
threat.
problem.
Converted 1 run to 3.
2-3.
The wicket keeper.
So when it rains, it's bleeding. You know, the hemorrhage seems not to. And the captain probably is at sea at what to do.
I think
So he
at
needs
this,
to calm
he
things
needs
down.
to calm things down. He needs to he needs to find a way to move the morale of the side. Because right now,
Because for the loss of no wickets, we are close to 80, aren't we? Or
69, almost
69.
just 1 more for 70.
So it will be that the under-17s have saved the best batting performance for the last.
Very well bowled and very well played from the batter. This is what you would have expected him to keep bowling. Dot balls now matters. Dot balls are going to be like gold for the A.A.U players, because anything above 120 might be a little bit difficult for them to chase. Very well played.
I would imagine that it would depend on the character of players. You know, if players are determined and hungry to bat, to just stay, occupy the crease and bat, teams should be able to chase anything. Yeah.
You're right, coach.
Because if you see the approach here is stay balanced, stay low, avoid the risk. The red flags are swinging across the ball, playing around the ball. If you play basic compact cricket and keep calm, you just stay there and bat and score runs.
Yeah, you're definitely right. End of the 9th over, ladies and gentlemen. 73 runs, still no wicket lost. The under-17 cricket team are doing perfectly well, having a steady run rate of 8.11. And if they continue at this, we probably might be seeing them cross a 150. Ridwan Abdul Karim back into the attack. But a big question, coach. Ever since I got into Benin,
Yes.
I have asked around that what has been the approach of clubs to the under-17s, and a lot of them have said those guys are just not a team you want to meet.
Okay.
And I look at the under-17 side and I see a side that if you have experienced cricketers or an experienced team handle them, they would know that they look ordinary.
Obviously.
So would you say the mentality of it's the under-17 side is now being affected on Ambrose Ali University Cricket Club?
Yeah, you are quite right, Yomi. Like I said earlier, they are the team that has, let's say, the guys with maybe because they have a program of preparation for the national under-17s. So very often you see them training. They have a proper training program which they follow according to directives of the board to the coach and management of the team. They are going to be our state flag bearers, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but the other teams, it's fair to say that the other teams, there's the word we used to use in marathon, where you say some are fun runners.
Yeah.
You know, some are title chasers.
Yep.
The other teams are made up of laymen and a bit of senior team players who again will not get to training most times unless there's a competition.
Okay.
So the arrangement of the clubs, like I told you, because it's a developing and regulated setup, you know, teams are balloted to various clubs as they come in, as they show willingness to play, and everybody has opportunity to bring in one or two from outside. Now there's economics of it again. The economics of it means that it's only when people really can afford it. Their clubs are not as autonomous and well structured and established like the ones in Lagos. So when they have some funds, okay, get one or two people in.
Yeah.
So in terms of the opposition, it always seems to have been tinted towards the under-17s.
Okay.
Then mentally, people approach them as, oh, they're training every day, they're well good, so let's try and see what we can do Most people will be saying, I'm sure today's day will beat them.
Yep.
But you go there, you find out that if you have not really been training, the guys who have been training will out-muzzle you in the game. They will outplay you in the game. You will push, but suddenly they will still have an answer to everything you've got.
Yeah.
That's what has happened. The A.A.U, I would say, have some batting. I would like to say that they have some batting that might just be able to do this if they can play calmly, play well organized, organize their batting. I'm thinking that the A.A.U batters can give them a run for their money. In terms of form, you have a victory who have scored a number of 40s and 50s. You have a Miracle who is red hot, back-to-back 50s the other day. You have a Ridwan with what Ridwan did yesterday. The way he went about his game, I think he's playing more maturedly than I've ever known him to play. And you never know what you're going to get from Boniface.
Yeah, definitely.
You see.
Yeah. So just a bit, we're having a discussion at the media stand yesterday in one of the games, and we said this under-17 seems to be much stronger for every team here in Benin.
Yes.
How would it feel like you've played in the Lagos League and you know how competitive the Lagos League is?
Yeah.
Would you say if this under-17 batters or these under-17 teams come to Lagos, do you think they would have an edge over both Division 1s and Division 2 teams in Lagos?
I can't say that for a fact because it's a different ball game there in Lagos. The number of the players who are in this league, some of them have gone to Lagos. They struggled initially, and I come to look at it as more mental and psychological. There is the atmosphere of Lagos that some people have to get to mature into. Well, fair to say that someone like David Agbebude, his first game in Lagos, he got 50 years.
Yes, please.
But after that, not much. Then Lucky went there, got 50 last week. But that will be won after a number of false starts too, because that pressure is always there. So I still think, as a unit, the under-17s are good, but are they great? They have to be tested.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely. They need to get tested.
They have to be tested, So I would rather you say, okay, can we be organized? That I will not be able to know. If for example, we can say, okay, as a team, as a unit, let's send them over. What's going to happen again is that it's just like what you have in the under-19s. You usually have these games that we play against the senior sides, and these younger athletic boys, they show keenness in the way they approach the game. And when they play the older guys, most times you see that they outwit the older guys.
Exactly.
The older guys, So, and that brings to the table again, Yomi, our training ethic as a people in cricket, our training culture. Are we a country that has this self-starting training ethic culture?
I personally would say we don't. Let's leave sport out of it in general. Everybody, we're meant to keep fit. Yes. Normally, there's a number of sit-ups you're meant to do in the morning. There's a number of push-ups you're meant to do in the morning. Even if you can't do any of that, you're meant to have lovely glance shot there. Has that raced all the way to the boundary for 4?
Going to be cut off.
Go good fielding from the fielder there. Had to run really hard to stop that, but the batters were quick with their feet. So just like I was saying, Coach, personally, everybody uses a smartwatch or an iWatch.
Yeah.
There's a walk limit for everybody. Normally, health-wise, you're meant to do at least 800 steps a day. But on an average, you see people do 100.
Yes.
We're so comfortable in our cars.
Yes.
Someone who wants to go to, let's take for example, from here down to KFC, should actually take, it's just a 5 minutes walk or 10 minutes walk. But the fellow would rather take his car, go there and come back. So Nigeria as a whole, it's only a few people that actually has that idea of keeping fit. Now, into sportsmen and women generally
now,
we need to understand that for you to get to that high performance level, you need to constantly train. If you're not constantly training, it's going to affect your performance. Not just on the field of play, but also off the field of play. I've always been an advocate of something, mental health.
Yes.
Of every athlete, not even the national team players alone, both at the club level, at the junior level, and make the players understand what mental health is. A player can lose and tomorrow morning we'll play better.
Yes.
Right now we're looking at the situation of things with Ambrose Ali. Mentally, we can actually establish the fact that victory will be a little bit down psychologically.
Yes, psychologically.
But if he had gone through that process of mental health, he knows how to pick himself up almost immediately.
Or is he relaxed that we go to the finals? And then they say, well, it's finals under 17.
I think the under 17 are even more agile in the finals than the Ambrose Ali guys. I think they have a mission, and the mission is to win the league.
To win the league.
And that is and that is what they are doing. With the way I think you're right. With the way we're seeing the Ambrose Ali guys, it seems like they just want to get into the finals and let's just play at the finals.
I may be wrong, but I mean, I see that in body language. Okay, look at that.
Very well played. Shot of a good length.
And that takes him to close to 40 odd now. Who played that one?
Good pick.
Solomon.
By Solomon, and that takes him to 37 runs.
That's Solomon.
37 runs in 43 balls. Both batters have crossed the 30 mark.
They have crossed the 30 mark.
And these guys are doing perfectly well. A good partnership between both of them. No, he has actually gotten 41.
Now, could we again say the presence of the president of Nigerian Cricket Federation, who also is the chairman at those taking our station, being his presence, has it changed? Has it affected anything? Are they playing to the gallery? Are they saying
I think they're playing for the motivation.
Playing for the motivation.
Playing for the motivation. Because they know very well that no matter what happens, Mr. Uyi is someone played up in the air.
Could that be something? No,
Victories.
No man island, no man there.
The field, Boniface wasn't even active at that, and Nana overthrew the ball.
They got that.
Boniface was right.
You know, the thing is, when it's raining, it's pouring sometimes in this game. When it's against you, when you're up against it, you need strength of character to put things together. That's what I see again. You need strength of character to put things back on. Because right now, 11 overs in, is Boniface bowling yet?
Hey, Boniface hasn't bowled, and that is what I'm saying. You need to now use Boniface. You can't keep Boniface at this edge. The batters are now beginning to swing the bat, and this is one thing you don't want to see happen. When the batters are swinging the bats. Now, at this point in time, the batters are just taking a go at even Redwan himself.
At even Redwan, yeah. You said it the other time, absolutely correct, that the tactic has backfired. When you say, is that something we do as a country, as a people, that reserve the best for later or something? I don't know.
Played up in the air, started catch.
Oh no!
Dropped catch. Raced and was right underneath it. And ladies and gentlemen, it's still the captain of the side.
Was that the captain?
That's the captain. Victory.
He's having a day. A type of a day. Did you call it a day from hell or something?
You know, I think it's a day of pressure.
Is it a day of pressure?
A day of pressure. His bowling wasn't good, and he's still trying to shake it off. He had the opportunity.
He's struggling. I don't know what's going to happen.
He had the opportunity to break this partnership, and he just threw it away.
I want to tell you something, Yomi. I think you are going to see a fight back from Victory with the bat. I would want to back Victory to bounce back from this.
I'll place my
knowing him.
I don't mind placing my bet on this. He probably might not score a 50 here.
The thing is, Victory, I want to tell you, in the state squad, the EDO state squad, Victory is somebody who has been rated as, if not the highest, in terms of work ethics. The personal willingness to train, just train and improve, want to improve, and see if he can make the mark for the selection. And everybody has noticed it, that, oh, can he be rewarded for this very glaring sign of hard work? Now, to be in the finals is one of the products of that effort. Ginger displays, personally working very hard, and improved on his batting. So if he has that ability to fight back, to gain reckoning, could we say this fielding side is the dreadful side of the game today for him, and he should come back strong
with a bat?
With a bat.
I think what he needs to do now is just to try as much as possible to see this off and ensure that the bat, they have at least less than 120. That's restricting the under 17 to 100.
What has he done now? He has got Miracle Solomon,
to come,
and then he still has Boniface to finish things off.
At this point in time, I probably will use Boniface, Miracle, and Redwan.
to get things going.
Things going. These three bowlers are experienced enough to understand what to do. So obviously you would know that if they're going to do this, they are definitely, these three players that we mentioned play at the toppest flights in Lagos League.
In Lagos League.
They bowl to the top batters in Lagos League. They know what the crunch is. So bowling to the under-17s wouldn't be a difference here. Now I'm looking at the field sets. I think Ridwan is helping out. Victory is having a little bit of a confusion, and Ridwan is helping out. Ridwan pushing back mid.
They desperately need the wickets.
At this point in time, I think what they need to do is just contain the two batters. It's currently 12 overs gone, 91 runs on board. What they need to do is just contain these two batters and try as much as possible to keep them there to score less than 120.
Okay.
That's a white ball.
It must be.
White ball. So what I would have expected them to do is, you know that it's a 50-50 chance.
Yes.
If you take a wicket now, you don't know what the next batter is coming in to do.
Yes.
So the devil I know is better. So the devil I know is better than is that a catch?
Oh no! Don't tell me. Okay,
played off the ground. Played off the ground. Very well played. So at this point in time, what I would have said, the devil I know is better than the angel I do not.
I don't know. Yes.
I'd rather just keep these two guys and just allow them, but keep them under 120, which is definitely
still run the ball.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then you take a wicket and the next man comes and he starts going all explosive. Bow bow. Before you know it, in the next 6-7 overs, they could hit the 150 marks.
Okay, that's assuming
the next batters can actually strike the ball.
Strike the ball.
So that's why I said if the wicket drops, it's a 50-50 chance. That should be a white ball.
Wide again.
Wide again. Not the kind of extras that they will be hoping for. The extras are just keep piling in.
Two batters are looking dangerous here.
So full. Good fielding from the fielder there. Decided to kneel and stop it with his foot rather than his hand.
So with a platform like this, ideally, shouldn't the slog squad be detailed and put on notice? See that?
So full again. I think he's trying to bowl it on the fourth stump and he's missing the line, and every time he bowls it, except the batter misses it, that's going to be a wide ball. At this point in time, I think what would be the under-17's batting department's instruction should be, you know what guys, do not try and hold on to any ball again.
Just hit every ball.
Just keep hitting. Strike the balls. You have 9 wickets at hand.
Yes, and they go last 7.
Last 7 overs. So
teams really go berserk with such a platform set.
At this point in time, the batters have just set a very good game for the. That was short of a good length, but could only pick Boniface, who was at mid-wicket. And now, if you look at it, with introduction of Ridwan,
yes.
Now Miracle Solomon, if he decides to bring Boniface in, the boundaries have stopped.
They have stopped.
Now they are forcing the batters to play with their foot, which means at this point in time the batters are tired, coach. They are tired.
I can see.
You could see from the reaction they have not been stretched to this level. Now it's a test of character of the opening batters. Now, if a wicket drops, the question is, the new batter would want to continue and enforce what has happened.
Yes.
Which means he's going to now be pushing the man who is still in there. End of the 13th over, ladies and gentlemen, is 97 for 97. The loss of no wickets.
Wow. Look at this.
Solomon is 46 runs in 50 balls. David is 36 runs in 28 balls.
The young boys have indeed risen to the occasion. They have risen to the occasion. Now we have Boniface. So
at this point in time, he needs to use Boniface, Miracle Solomon, and keep that the very last over he has for Ridwan to be bowled in between the 17th, 18th, and the 19th over.
Okay, let's see what Boniface comes up with. We're looking for miracle from somewhere, so let's see.
Boniface is an experienced spinner both for Foundation Cricket Club and Kaduna State cricket team.
But the batters seem to have answer for anything today.
Just like we've established earlier on, the batters will go at any ball bowled short of a good length, out volley. and short balls, because at this point in time they already know what the pitch is doing.
Yes.
So they would take a go at it. The only way you can get them out now is to bowl good length balls or probably yoker balls.
Oh no.
Wicketkeeper could not hold on to that.
Oh no. That one rolls
Has that
down.
raised all the way to the boundary for 4?
Yes.
Yes, it has. 4 runs, that is. That should
Another
be
thing you could see, Yomi, is that we are struggling and desperate in need of water or the rains for the pitch.
yeah, definitely. But we can understand the weather condition of Nigeria.
We're in Nigeria now, yeah.
Now we're gradually getting out of the heat season, and that
Yes.
is 50.
For someone. That's 50 for Solomon.
Oh, not 50 yet. I think they just crossed the 100 mark. Yeah, they just
Okay,
crossed
yeah.
the 100 mark. That was
That's
why the
100 for
team
the
was
side.
clapping. Yes,
100 for the side.
100 for the side. That's a good partnership from the sides.
So 100 for no loss. They saved the best for the last. This is really remarkable.
A tough one.
Wow.
Solomon is
I
on
don't know.
47 for 50 up in 51 balls. David is 37 in 29 balls.
Okay.
First,
White ball.
he bowled that
So
forcefully.
what does it say? It looks like there's been a high turnout of extras in this first innings compared to what you would normally
That's what you expect, coach. Because the pressure is so much on them right now. They bowled a total of 21 extras, 20 wides, 1 leg by. Is not what
That's
they
an
would
extra 3 overs they bowled.
exactly, and the batters have done justice even to every single ball. I think if the statisticians of the league side decides to go back and check this game,
Yeah.
you probably would say the dot balls considered would
Yes.
probably be like 3 or 4 overs.
Yes.
The batters have gone all out from the get-go, and you could see now the introduction of Boniface, Reed one,
Stem the flow.
have tamed the flow. Before they were at 10 runs per over, now they've cut it down to 7, which is still on the
Alright,
high
okay.
side.
Oh, is there someone there?
That would raise all the
No
way to the
way.
boundary for 4.
So
The man at mid-wicket was not placed properly.
that's David Abiyabu
That's
there.
David, yes, he wasn't placed properly, and that has raised to the boundary for 4. And that 4,
Now, you want to. The irony of this thing is that how fortunes change. Let me draw your attention to a game that was played during the PwC South-South qualifiers. In the very first game, A.A.U team was drawn up against Delta State, and I don't know if you were able to follow up at that time, because you know there are not many games all around.
yeah,
In that very first game, A.A.U State team fielded first, and they bowled out Delta for 52 runs in
okay.
15 overs. I mean, actually, they bowled them out. They bowled the Delta State under 17 team for 52 runs. Now, you would expect that to be a stroller for this same under 17s that
We're currently seeing.
we're currently seeing. Of course, let's assume that 7, that was the A.A.U State under 17, which is this team.
Yes, please.
And they lost 8 wickets before they got to 53. It looked like a joke. Like, what's going on? Is this the batting that has been cruising through all the clubs in the state? Now, your first game against another team from Benin, outside Benin, like you were asking, how are they going to play if they go to Lagos?
Yes, please.
So, but that day the team got right slagged off by the president and the chairman.
And you probably will say they have learnt their lesson, but I still say they haven't learned
The
their lesson.
next day, now they came back and put up 130 in 15 overs. And one of the players, Celine, got a 50. And from then on, it's like they had chased down every score. In the semi-finals here, they bowled out no limit for 41. That was really you know,
I think
anticlimax.
I personally would say their test they should come over to Lagos and see how their test
maybe
is.
play any of the sides
Play
in
any of the
Lagos.
sides in Lagos. Probably, I wouldn't say they should play the sides in Division 1s. Probably pick the likes of St. Gregory's 2, Ibejimeki 2, and those are in the second division. St. Gregory's 2 is actually, it's almost with the same familiarity with them, because St. Gregory's 2 has almost
A lot of
50% of the under 17 players
for Lagos State.
For Lagos State. So it's going to be like you playing against your mates and see
how you go
with it. Because by the time you start playing against experienced players, obviously it will look like you're the underdogs of the side.
So it means that you are absolutely correct if we say that the competitions taking place in Abuja next week will be the litmus test.
Yes, will be a litmus test to most of the players who are playing in the under 17s for Edo State. Because at that point in time, now you're playing the best of the best all around
the country.
Yeah, so it means that when you get to see a batter who's probably shaping up to play Hussein Prosper, who's arguably the best bowler at his level, and he's hitting him comfortably, then you know that he's playing with his peers.
With his peers, yes.
Very well played over covers, and that has raced to the boundary for 4.
Another thing I would say here is that the captain of the A.A.U team looks bereft of ideas at the moment. Could you say it's a result of the pressure he ran into? He ran into a stormy avalanche of runs that he's out there long off. I'm struggling to understand why he keeps himself away from the scene, because this thing requires action. You have to find solution when you are in trouble.
And his solutions are actually now.
Or has he left it for Boniface and Ridwan?
That's what I actually want to say, that his problems now, he's transferred it to the experienced bowlers. And now those ones that set your field and just do what you want to do. Now you have Solomon on strike as he races on to score a 50. Solomon has just scored a 50. You can see him raise his bat.
And I tell you, that's his first 50 in a very... I've never, in fact, that's the first, that must be his first 50.
You could see him and his partner having that good discussion.
He's getting a standing ovation quite rightly from his teammate.
From his teammate as well. And that has taken his team to 118 for 15 runs.
In 15 overs.
In 15 overs, I beg your pardon. 118 in 15 overs. A good 50 from Solomon for his side. And it might surprise you to know this partnership has built 118 runs partnership. And now you would be hoping David to score another 50 as he's just 3 runs short for it.
What on the street here now, I must tell you, Yomi, is about shirts on sale, under 19 shirts on sale. So I can see from afar that Mr. Barrister A.A.U, who is a member of the 19 selectors panel, is here, and I'm sure he must be jotting down notes, because we have a structure set up where you have Mr. Efe Dukuye, Olisa Iguatu, and Barrister A.A.U as key members of the current under 19 selectors panel. They will be watching with keen eyes what's happening in all the qualifiers to see who among the under 17s can step up to give a run for their money, those current under 19 squad players.
So in reality, coach, if I happen to be a member of the under 19 squad, or selectors, I would say for me to be able to pick, I won't pick on your format, I'll pick on your techniques, because it's going to be easier for me to train you to play the 50 over format if your techniques are right. This field there from the fielder, and that has raced all the way to find Miracle Solomon at mid wickets, but the batters were quick on their feet to score a single. Just like I was saying on the 19s, we've established the fact that the under 19s is a 50 over format. And with the way, if you pick your selection based on what you're seeing with the T20 format, you definitely might be having a team that would struggle when you're probably crossing the 30 over mark and you have like 2 or 3 wickets left. So it's going to be a tough call for the selectors. Sometimes I tell myself I'm happy that I'm not a selector.
But then, don't you think that is part of just our national policy as we are as a country, because we are coming back to that discussion.
Yep.
Why do we play mostly T20s? It's good to have the realistic, dispassionate discussion.
So the big question is this, Coach. What is the fastest way to qualify to a World Cup stage? It's a T20 format.
That's what we have been told, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can we have drinks, please? Water. I like to bring the economics of it first.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a T20 game is obviously faster to complete.
Exactly.
And now we have a situation where economics, the real basic economics of life is that cricket, to get a cricket event going,
Coach,
more time, more game time.
Coach, I need to cut you off here. That square cut shot has just put David to scoring his 50 as well.
Superlative.
2 50s from the two batters, and they have done justice to this innings as it's the end of the 16th over. And Coach, it is 123 runs for the loss of no wickets.
I think they have given a really good welcome present to the president, who is right on ground to see this, and I'm sure he'll be pleased.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get motivation from the president.
Yeah.
No. So I'd rather not call him the president. I'll call him the chairman.
In this case.
In this case. Because this is a dual league. So I'd rather call him the chairman, Mr. Uya Kwata. So obviously having two young lads score 50 each and having a partnership of 123 in 16 overs has put Ambrose Ali in a very tough position right now. Now the test here will be, how would the batters of Ambrose Ali react? Starting from Victory, the captain, to Boniface, to Miracle, and to Ridwan. Those are the 4 experienced players that you have on the side who have been in such pressure games at both the under 17s and under 19 levels in both states and for the country. So they know that if they are going to be doing anything different, they have to go from the very first ball.
Victory has the ball in his hand. I mean, is that?
He just has to bowl his last over. He can't keep himself.
Should we just accept that? Or
he just has to bowl his last over.
is it captain's veto or something? Because
I don't know, because he has 4 overs left. Boniface has 2. Miracle Solomon has 2. Ridwan has 1. Obviously, Boniface and Solomon can continue. So my big problem with him is what he has done again from this end is still bowling from around the wickets. You're bowling an off spin and you're bowling around the wickets. It's definitely going to be dropping at the middle and leg stump.
okay.
Gives the batsman enough room to just glance the ball to the leg side. Why not just stay on the offside and bowl?
Now let's come back to that discussion again. You see, when we talk about T20 and 50 overs,
Yes, please.
can I tell you, I mean, the bottom line is just temperament. So I would say that if selectors find that a player has good technique,
Yes, please.
proper batting skills, and you know, all-round batting technique, what they want to look for now is temperament. Because at the coaching level, even if we don't get to play 50 over tournaments before we do the selection, after the selection, if we have selected the players, the best players with the proper technique, we're going to now work on temperament. Because the difference between the T20 player and the 50 over player is temperament.
Yes, please.
The one who is, you know, there are periods in the 50 over game, you need to be patient, but T20 is unforgiving.
You're
T20
right.
is frantic. It's an urgent pace, T20. But the ODI needs you to go measuredly. So that's the adjustment that is usually done at the coaching level. You know, putting them through their paces to make them play measuredly and patiently for a longer while.
And you know the good thing about ODIs, it shows your temperament as a batsman and as a team in general.
Yeah.
It means that I remember those days when Nigeria was used to playing the 50 overs. When you're batting, you have to take a go at the first 4 batters, bring them in before the first water break.
Yes.
Is that a catch? Lovely catch.
Finally, the captain.
Boniface and the captain actually did.
Well, he stuck to his guns
But good catch from Boniface.
What's that? No, you want back because you see where people
The new batter decides to take a go from the first ball, and I think now we've seen the approach from the batters, and now it's obvious. You know what? Take a go. We have lesser overs and we have wickets at hand, so it's just keep swinging, make connections, and score runs.
So is that the last 3 overs?
No, this is just the last ball to be bowled for this to complete the 17th over, and it's 129. Lovely push to square leg, and one run it is.
I think it's been a really impressive show from the under-17s with regards to the way they went about the batting. I think it has been it's been good to see, and that's hope too. So what we were saying, if the 2 batters, assuming okay they open the batting and they have played 20 overs,
yes,
I mean let's say 17 overs,
yes, please.
That's what you really want in an ODI anyway.
Exactly, but I want you to stay. So the techniques I know, I might be wrong.
Yeah,
it's your first 1 openers and your 3rd batter should stay to the first water break,
ideally,
and score at least 50 runs or 60 runs on the ball. Then you know the in between 17, 18, 19 to probably 35 overs.
Exactly.
You can just decide, you know what, do we want to have wicket at hand, or do we just want to have a go at anything that comes?
Yes.
So you know the last 10, 12 overs, it's going to be explosive if you have wickets
in hand. Then you detail your slug squad.
Exactly.
You detail your slug squad.
And you're just right, coach. ODI is basically about temperament.
It's temperament.
There is no difference
That's
about
the coaching. That's what we coach. To look for the player, and it's your character, to be honest. You play the way you are. So the selectors, the coaches, we're looking for players with that calm disposition, the way they go about their business.
So which brings me to another question, coach. The players, when they play with themselves in the country, they feel much comfortable, but when they go outside the country and see players from other countries, they feel a little bit intimidated. Because I was looking at, we were watching footages of the under 19 qualifiers in Rwanda, and I was seeing the under 19 players. It was only probably 2 or 3 players that actually looked confident, but the rest just had that fatigue within themselves,
they freeze.
Exactly.
Players used to freeze,
and it's totally something. I think at this point in time, if the federation, even at the state level, can actually get a psychologist, very well played, but can only find Miracle Solomon at the wicket.
That's Selim on duty now, right?
Obviously, who would you have go? That would be Selim.
The batting machinery for the 17 has been oiled, most, probably by those 3 batters. Solomon, Selim, David Abrebode, they've been in the rounds, the league.
So there's a big question a lot of people ask me, even in Lagos, when they know I support New Zealand, and they ask me, why of all teams New Zealand? I said, look, New Zealand has been the most consistent team in the world. Everybody, even the Indians and the Australians and the South Africans and the English, can actually accept that they have been consistent. And they have lost at the most important competitions or finals in every competition that they've been to. New Zealand is still the only team that has gone into 3 World Cups back to back and has not won a single World Cup.
Okay.
But the big question is this: every time New Zealand gets to the finals, what is it they've done different? And I keep answering. After every game, after every defeat, they go back and meet their psychologist, who helps them out, and they get it off their head. And then they approach the game the next time. That's why you would see them, they are regarded as the most friendly cricket nation in the world.
I'm a die-hard England fan, I dare say.
I know. Because I could remember the finals, a lot of English fans in Nigeria were going after me, and I was the only New Zealand guy in between 6 English fans, and I'm like,
so now that you have brought it up now, does that take us back to 2019? What could have been, what would have been in 19? That was the World Cup finals, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the World Cup finals.
It's so far over, isn't it?
It was really painful for them, because the game changed at exactly when that overthrow happened. And personally, New Zealand had a very good approach to the game because, in truth, the super over was actually tied.
It was tied.
It was tied, but because of the playing conditions set by ICC, England won because they played more boundaries than New Zealand.
They actually was saying it in the middle of the second innings, and I was hoping I was going to have to do a lot of calculations and to find out who actually got more boundaries.
Yeah, it was obvious. Ben Stokes went all out and had, I think he had three boundaries. Yes, he had three boundaries, and New Zealand was only able to have 2 boundaries. Immediately, the last ball, which was 2 more runs to win, I was expecting Gapto to go have a quick go at it. He did have a go at it, but he couldn't race all the way to the boundary. No ball called by the umpire.
Oh no!
I think it's the front foot.
Oh,
Free hit declare. I think it's the front foot. Front foot, no ball declared there by umpire Nusa. And dispatched all the way to the fence.
For 6?
No, that's a 6.
Wow.
Very well played.
Wow.
By Salim, dispatching that for a 6. And that 6 has taken his side to 142, if I'm correct. 144.
144 in the finals.
It means we're going to be seeing a very good finals here.
Wow.
Now it gives the bowlers something to bowl for. That's for the under 17. It gives them something to bowl for. It means they're going to have a good time on the field when they're fielding, and it means the strategy that the A.A.U team will be going for. It means they'll be going after the bowlers from the very first ball. $144 for the loss of just 1 wicket in 18.1 overs.
So, are you getting set for Abuja?
That's on Tuesday. I think the media department of Abuja, the Nigerian Cricket Federation, will be the ones in charge of that.
The streaming and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But I would love to be there. I remember being here last year
for the finals
of the PWC, and it was good seeing.
So it was a memorable event, you say.
There, but hopefully, I think today there's going to be a final discussion on if I would be there or not. Because I had a phone call yesterday, but I didn't make up my mind actually. I still just want to have a bit of a break.
Okay. Is it the very last over?
19th over actually. 2 more balls to be bowled.
2 more balls.
150 or 158 will be a very good total for the under 17 side.
Mammoth total for this ground.
Just a quick question, Coach. What's the highest total on the side?
That's about what we are getting to see. I know in the league, the Uniben team got 170 odd one time. That's the highest I've ever seen. Then in the sports festival and national championships, Kaduna State put up 150 odd in a particular match, and then what has been going on here is 140s, 150s when players really run riot with the bat.
And it's now 150 with the last ball of the 19th over just bowled, played up in the air. That would race all the way for boundary for 6, and that's 6 runs. Lovely 6 it is. 6 it is, and that 6 would take his side. That 6 would take his side to 156.
Is there a few more balls left?
19 overs gone, 156 for the loss of 1 wicket.
I cross the road though. You cross the other side, yeah.
Big thank you to the coach of Edo State cricket team and one of the selectors of Edo State, Coach Ute, being here with me at the commentary box of this under 17 cricket club versus Ambrose Ali Cricket Club finals of the Edo State Cricket League right here at the Edo State This league is sponsored by Pets Foundation and LUSHVILLE Hotel and Suites. The very last over of this first innings is to be bowled by Ridwan Abdul Karim. Can he keep the Ambrose Ali side to a comfortable run as the under 17 are 156 for 1. The first ball he bowled is a dot ball. Good bowling from Ridwan, bowling with experience. He's also the national team bowler. Spins for the national team as well. Good pickup by Silimidon, preventing the ball from racing all the way to the boundary. And the batters from taking the single. Backward point picks it up and throws it back. As we have just 2 more balls to be bowled, Ridwan has only considered 2 runs in this last over and the last over of the innings. Oh, well driven, but no run. And now the last ball to be bowled. Very well played by Selim. Would that race all the way to the boundary for 4? Good stop there from the fielder Miracle Solomon, and the batsman could only take 3 runs. And that, ladies and gentlemen, with that 3 has brought us to the end of the first innings of this finals between the under 17 cricket club and the Ambrose Ali University Cricket Club. As the total runs we have on board is something they have done from the very first goal. They maintained a total run rate of 7.92 per over, and with what they have done, they have just finished the game at 160 for the loss of just 1 wicket. players for the day are Miracle. Both batters, opening pairs, did justice to everything that was thrown at them. I'll be right back for the second innings.
It's a long way to the finish line, got a hard road ahead. Anybody gonna stand in my way is gonna wish they were dead. Cause I won't take knocks in the rain, any luck's gonna keep me from this door. Won't be shut out anymore. I'm gonna light like fire, I'm coming down like rain. I'm gonna break down barriers, I'm gonna play through the pain. I'm gonna rise like a phoenix, I'm gonna fight through the flame. The devil won't drag me down, cause I'm done, I'm all done playing games. I don't know when the job will be done, and the way isn't clear. Gotta stand against what I know's wrong, gotta face all my fears. But I won't take knocks, and there ain't any luck's gonna keep me from this door. Won't be shut out anymore. I'm gonna light like fire, I'm coming down like rain. I'm gonna break down barriers, I'm gonna play through the pain. I'm gonna rise like a phoenix, I'm gonna fight through the flame. The devil won't drag me down, cause I'm done, all done playing games. It's a long way to the finish line, got a hard road ahead. Anybody gonna stand in my way is gonna wish they were dead. Cause I won't take knocks in the rain, any luck's gonna keep me from this door. Won't be shut out anymore. I'm gonna light like fire, I'm coming down like rain. I'm gonna break down barriers, I'm gonna play through the pain. I'm gonna rise like a phoenix, done playing games. I don't know when the job will be done and the way isn't clear. Gotta stand against what I know's wrong, gotta face all my fears. I won't take knocks and there ain't any locks gonna keep me from this door. Won't be shut out anymore. I'm gonna light like fire, I'm coming down like rain. I'm gonna break down barriers, I'm gonna play through the pain. I'm gonna rise like a phoenix, I'm gonna fight through the flame. The devil won't drag me down, 'cause I'm done, all done playing games. It's a long way to the finish line, got a hard road ahead. Anybody gonna stand in my way is gonna wish they were dead. 'Cause I won't take knocks and there ain't any locks gonna keep me from this door. Won't be shut out anymore. I'm gonna light like fire, I'm coming down like rain. I'm gonna break down barriers, I'm gonna play through the pain. I'm gonna rise like a phoenix, I'm gonna fight through the flame. The devil won't drag me down, 'cause I'm done, I'm all done playing games. I don't know when the job will be done and the way isn't clear. Gotta stand against what I know's wrong, gotta face all my fears. I won't take knocks and there ain't any locks gonna keep me from this door. Won't be shut out anymore. I'm gonna light like fire, I'm coming down like rain. I'm gonna break down barriers, I'm gonna play through the pain. I'm gonna rise like a phoenix, I'm gonna fight through the flame. The devil won't drag me down, 'cause I'm done, all done playing games.
Alright then, welcome back ladies and gentlemen. It's the wait for the second innings to start. As you can see from the middle that the groundsmen are currently rolling the ground to ensure that we have a smooth game in the second innings. Just like I said earlier, the target is 161. If they're going to be winning in any form, that's for the A.A.U University team. If they want to win, they have to score 161 in 20 overs, which means they have to go at 8 runs per over or go at almost every boundary per over. Big stars to look out for the under-17 in terms of bowling is Hussein Prosper, who happens to be Nigerian opening bowler. He shares the balls with his state compatriots Peter Aho, and also experienced bowlers for Nigeria like Isaac Okpe, Mustafa Yusuf, Taiwo Mohammed, Abolari Abdul Rashid, and the rest of them. So it will be nice to see he would be having the battle of the battles with the likes of Ridwan Abdul Karim, who yesterday in one of the semi-finals, played a very lovely innings, putting up a total of 39 not out. So today is going to be a question of between him, Boniface, Miracle Solomon, and the captain, Victory, how they are able to give a response to the total that the under 17 team has posted, which is 160 runs. The under 17 taking a last minute warm up before they get into the middle. They know quite well that if they have any chance of winning this game, they need to get early wickets in the game and put pressure on the Ambrose Ali University side. Later on in the presentation, we'll be having the Deputy Governor of Edo State. He will be here as a special guest of honor. So also is the chairman of the Edo State Cricket Association. I'll be right back for the second innings.
coming through. Boy, you fill my lungs with sweetness, and you fill my head with you. Shall I write it in a letter? Shall I try to get it down? Boy, you fill my head with pieces of a song I can't get out. Can I be close to you? Ooh, ooh. Can I be close to you? Ooh, ooh. Can I take it to a moment where the fields are painted gold and the trees are filled with memories of the feelings never told?
Welcome back to the second innings of this Super 4 finals between the Under-17 Cricket Club and the Ambrose Ali University Cricket Club. Both sides here today have done justice, most especially to the Under-17. They have been able to put up a total of 160 runs for the loss of just 1 wicket. And it's definitely going to be a cracker in the second innings. Hussein Prosper goes with the first ball. Is that an LBW? No, umpire declines the call. That's a good start from Hussein Prosper, Nigerian opening bowler, and possibly the Nigerian Under-19 opening bowler as well.
You're right, Johnny.
Yeah. So seeing the total runs now, Coach, 160, and arguably that might be the highest run total on this ground. What would you, if you happen to be the batting coach?
Obviously, these are the games that champions are made of. This is where you want to know what type of character people have. So I will first of all ask them to bat. Stay strong, don't panic, forget about the scoreboard for now.
So just to cut you short, I keep hearing that word, just bat.
Yes.
Can you shed more light to that?
Stay organized and stay compact in your crease. Let the ball come to you. Peel your eyes. You've got to be concentrating just on that ball. Remember, what are the red flags? The red flags are when you take risks unnecessarily. So cut off red flags like playing across the line of the ball, but keep your eyes glued and let that ball come to the bat. Even the movement aspect of it to be a little bit measured, because the guy is going to rush at you. They have runs behind them and they're going to come. Okay. So the first 2 overs, first few balls, suck the pressure. The batters need to absorb the pressure. It's going to come and stay in there. And let's go back to your team again. You were talking about the hallmark of the New Zealand captain, Kane Williamson. It's a tutorial for bowling batsmen. You see that I've seen it again and again. New Zealand, first wicket drops, 10 runs, 11 runs in a test match. And Kane Williamson comes in and you will see 150 still for 1. 200, I've seen 230 for 2. I used to ask myself, and it goes there is an epitome of expressionless batting staying calm under serious pressure, knowing where to leave, knowing what ball to leave, and knowing what ball is in your wicket line to keep it straight, and then they absorb the pressure. So that's what successful batting, especially when you are chasing a mammoth total like this, people stay compact and just stay balanced and calm under this pressure. And I'm expecting that from somebody like Miracle Solomon and his partner who is batting with. They need to set up a platform.
It's really quite good to see that Victory decided to drop himself.
Oh no. Absolutely.
He just needs to stay, I would say...
Stay aloof for a while
exactly,
and rethink things.
Exactly. He's put too much pressure on himself, and he will be asking himself at this point in time, they shouldn't worry about what happened in the first innings.
Yes.
Your concern now should be, what should be our approach in the second innings? Yes. How do we play it?
Get the partnership going.
Get the partnership. And looking at it, technically, they need to score one boundary per over.
To just be in the hunt.
To just be in the hunt for the game.
Okay.
They need to score one boundary per over. If they can get one boundary per over, that puts them in the driving seat. But with the two batters currently in, they are Usain Prosper bowling it very well, tidy line
now,
and length.
This is what is a recurrent decimal here in Benin League. You see that everybody say the fear of Prosper is the beginning of wisdom. So everybody approaches Prosper's innings with, he must not get me out, and even if I don't get a run, give him his maiden. So I'm wondering, do people surrender easily? Then you see what's going to happen. In the mindset of the batters, the easier bowler to play will be Ronet.
Exactly.
And then Ronet gets wickets.
Exactly.
Because they drop their guards against Ronet. Yeah. Be a little bit more complacent and express, feel they want to be expressive for him. Because they expect that it's easier to play him. Prosper has given us trouble. Let Prosper carry his trouble, go with his trouble. Then let's go after Renet.
Which still brings me back to what I keep saying, the mental toughness of every player. If you had a psychologist in the Ambrose Ali side,
yes,
he would tell you how to approach Usain Prosper.
Okay.
Because just like you said, a lot of batters will go, it's Usain Prosper. That fear is in you that let me just let him go. The first ball he bowls, I probably shut off a good length, but it's coming towards your neck, and then you just let it go and be like, oh, okay.
You have surrendered. Most of us surrender.
Just let it go.
Most of us surrender.
The same thing happened right here back then at the state championship when Peter Aho was bowling. Okay. And because the general name for him is the Master Yoker, everybody felt, okay, anytime Peter is coming to bowl, he bowls it into
the block hole.
But the truth is, Peter, in reality, is actually the most easiest bowler to play.
Okay.
If you have the straight bat and you can trigger down the line,
just play.
Just play. All you need to do is play it away from Peter, and you get an easy run. And what happens most of the time is, because it's a short format of the game, Peter cannot react quickly.
Yes.
It's either he's bowling it at that particular line all through, or he decides to change. And the moment he changes, he might bowl something different. That's the difference between the ODI and the T20.
It's interesting to see what is the plan of the A.A.U batters. Huge total, I would say. Asking rate is going to 9 now, suddenly. If you don't get boundaries early enough, the asking rate will
definitely
increase.
go up. Just like I said, boundary per over will be on the safer side, or if not, you have to take 2 runs per ball. And now 3 balls have been bowled, and those are all 2 dot balls and just a run. Current run rate is 4 runs, and the required run rate has risen to 8.
It's a huge crime.
Very well played, but only could find the bowler. That's a tough call.
It is.
The question that will be on everyone's mind is, who would the A.A.U batters take on? They just need to take on the bowler.
You must target one bowler.
Exactly. A bowler needs to be targeted. It's Usain Prosper, or is it this man who's currently bowling? And who is bowling it wicket to wicket?
That's what he does. He just gentle in swing, wicket to wicket, and batters most likely want to underrate him or express themselves with him, haven't been buckled down by Prosper.
I can imagine this young lad bowling to the likes of Isaac Okwe, Sheswale Deji.
Now that's a loose one. I thought should go. All right, they get 2 for that, probably 3. They probably go for 3. Okay, they go for 3.
Running in between the wicket by the 2 batters.
They get 3.
They get 3 runs, and that takes us to the end of the over, ladies and gentlemen.
The bowling lineup of the under-17s will probably see 3 seamers, Prosper, Rennet, and a certain Isosa, and after that they have a spin trio of Victor Samuel, David Abuevo there, on the leg spinner Joshua, who will test the batters. So yeah, that's Isosa coming straight away. That's Isosa coming straight
Change
away.
of bowling. I think
of bowling.
Prosper, understanding the fact that he's going to keep himself to when the batters will decide to start up playing the slug shots.
Yes.
Knows that will be a perfect opportunity for him. But the question there is, should he have bowled the second over to take a wicket?
Another thing again is that it's a testament of how strong a character he is, Prosper, because to have him on the pitch in the first place is, with what has happened to him recently, is a show of how strong the players are rallying around him. Also, the parents are rallying around him, and he has been able to put himself together. Especially the sad event of him losing a younger brother a few days ago. So in a freak accident, his younger brother was killed in a freak motor accident a few days ago, and the whole Edo State cricket family have rallied around them, and his team have rallied around him, and he's been able to get himself back on. Oh no, that's not a bad one.
Lovely
that's
time,
a bad square
middle
cut.
of the bat, raced all the way to the boundary for 4. That's what you need. That's
So they
the
need
approach.
to fight back. They need to
That's
show determination to go at it.
the 2 batters are actually showing the determination. They are just not picking the right balls to go after. I think at this point in time, the batters should know their strengths and their weakness in terms of where the ball pitches
And how the wicket
and
is
how
played.
the wicket is playing.
So how they're going to react. Wow,
That's it.
I saw that one. Good.
Straight off the middle of the bat. Good stop.
And they get 3 for that.
Good stop from Hussein Prosper.
Oh, they got 4 runs.
A shout for 4 runs. An appeal for run out. Not given by the umpire. But that was a call
What
for...
was that? Did they save 1 run?
I think that's a call for 4.
Because I saw the crowd there cheering some good fielding there. Okay, from Prosper.
Prosper Husseini
Oh, there.
raced that and prevented the boundary. But that was a perfect shot from the bowler, from the batter. Walked into the line
So
of
that's
the ball.
3 and 4 now in the
Yes,
over.
that's 7.
7, okay.
This is the approach you expect Ambrose Ali to start doing. Probably they felt, and you're right. Now this
They have to go for
this
it.
is where the test of character
Is.
is. Should Prosper have bowled this over?
Yeah, because see, the coach and his management team are thinking, he knows what is coming. Everybody wants to say, Prosper, go with your trouble. We'd rather give you your maiden, but you won't get the wicket.
Yep.
So he's thinking, do I allow that to continue? That's what everybody does. So then they are more expressive with the other bowlers, and sometimes the other bowlers get more wickets. So he's thinking, how does he manage Prosper in his defense? He has discovered that it looks like a batting track, a good batting track today. So you see, they're willing to have a go at every other bowler.
Yeah, which is I think is quite good.
Okay.
So what it means is, if I happen to be the bowling coach of the under-17, I probably will use Prosper after the power play.
Okay.
Let him bowl 1 over.
Okay.
Use him 12th over, and then use him towards the last over. So you don't know when he's going to come
When
in.
he's going to come in.
Exactly. So the time is going to come in between his 3rd over and his 4th over is probably when you have batters.
See, they're just having a go. They're playing the power play. See, they're having a go. And the fielding is commendable too, because they are pulling, they are saving singles. They are, instead of 4, you get 3.
runs.
So you see, they leave the details. You see, they are pulling things back to the fielding side.
It's a tough.
In the first inning, that would normally just race for 4.
Yeah.
So
Which
that's
is
the difference between the two sides.
Two sides, yes. Which is what I was saying. The field setting for the under-17 has been very, very good, and the batters have been able to play it above the inner ring, which is what has been not really what exactly the under-17s did. What the under-17s did were just find the gaps.
Finding the gaps,
They were just finding the gaps, and the balls were just racing to the boundary for 4. But the gaps are not here, and the batters know that. Look, if you want to play, if you want to score runs, you need to play over
And off good balls too.
and off good balls as well.
See, they go to play runs off good balls. You must find way to manufacture runs.
And that brings us to the end of the third over, as the 17 runs for the loss of no wickets.
In the third over.
Third over.
So, I mean, they're not too far away. They need to just be in the hunt, hold wickets, create partnership, and then show strong character in the chase.
So I'm looking at the runs. As at the third over, the under 17 were 16 runs.
So, see how it goes.
The under 17 went 16 runs as at the third over, and now that's the A.A.U side, are 17 runs.
See chat there between captain and his assistant, Rennet.
Yeah.
So they are thinking, they say, okay, what do we do? Most times, by this time, probably the under 17s have broken through. Most times, in most games. So now they will be looking, are we facing a side that is determined to face up to it and hold wicket? So they got to strategize. Now Prosper changes ends.
I wouldn't be surprised, because he needs to come back to bowl, put that fear back again into the batters.
Okay.
Now he's bowling from the ends I've always known him to bowl from, right here on this pitch.
Okay.
So I probably guessing the captain, the coach would have probably thought you starting from that end wasn't the right call, and you coming from this end. But now the batters are feeling comfortable. Now with those two
They
shots.
need a break, obviously, because you don't want Miracle Solomon to get in his groove. It's a difficult batsman to dislodge when he gets in his groove. He's a calm batsman. He plays within his zone. Looks pretty organized. Sometimes I feel he's a little bit too calm for my liking. I think he's too calm. But then it has been his advantage. He's expressionless most times. He just plays quietly and then nicks at it. So
Very well bowled from Hussein Prosper.
block hole straight away.
That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see from the young lad. Miracle Solomon is 2 runs off 3 balls, and Akigbe Godsend is 14 runs.
Oh,
Of
Akigbe is
16
the enforcer in this case.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
I think what Ambrose Ali will be looking at is having 1 wicket at hand, who stays there to the end of the
To the end of
innings,
the game, right through.
and then the rest of you just play around him.
And that batter has been mandated to ensure he gets a boundary every
Exactly.
over.
And that's going to be more dangerous. That's going to be more dangerous if you have someone like Miracle
Yes.
in there.
In there, yes. I'm telling you, if he just gets into his groove, see that neat
Lovely
on drive,
drive.
classic as you will find anywhere in the world. Good day, people. Good day, boys.
Has that raced all the way to the boundary? Oh, good stop.
That is leg on the line. I don't know.
Good stop.
His leg on the line, but okay.
Not
I was thinking on the line.
good chase. The under 17s have done everything.
What
possible.
you want batters to face up to Prosper.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
They have to. The
You've
point
got to face
is,
up to him.
at this point, you need to face up to him. Miracle Solomon, experienced batter for his club. Missed call.
No.
Oh! There was
Nothing.
that was really, really hurtful.
That is,
straight into the helmet of the batter.
So his hand.
Oh, it's his hand. That looked like his
Yes.
helmet, but that was his hand. It's safe to say he wasn't obstructed because he
No,
just
I
ran
don't
straight.
think- I don't think.
And
that
it was a fielder throwing the ball directly at him.
No, I don't think that's it.
That should hurt, and that's going to be a big blow right now because that hand is going to become heavy and will probably the next
Yes.
2-3
Yes.
overs.
And again, the spirit of the game will be called to question here. They say the spirit of cricket. They ask. The man is in a challenging position, and then you are putting his wicket up for sale again.
Exactly. So at this point in time, you expect Prosper to now go at him
Yeah.
because he's definitely going to be on strike,
Yeah.
and you know very well that look, this man is hurt, and he's going to now be very, very
Another
careful.
further test of character.
Character, yes. We're having a little bit of a break. It's 21-4.
The under 17s are looking like, oh, do we want them to play again for 10 overs, no loss of no wicket like we did? What does that portend for us? So,
I'm sure the under 17s at the back of their mind will be telling themselves, look, we need to get wickets. The earlier we get wickets, the better it is for us. So we'll know if the game plan is working according to the way we want it to go. Because if you don't get wickets as at 10 overs,
yes,
you now put yourself under pressure where you
Exactly.
have the likes of Victory, you have the likes of Boniface, and you have
Oh,
the likes of
rude one.
Those three.
There's batting
can-
still to come.
Those
There's
three.
batting.
Those three can actually destroy the under 17s.
They are stroke players. They are in your face. They have a go.
Have to
Those
go at
batters,
you.
they have a go.
So it's
They have a
definitely
go.
gonna
They're
be-
not going to flinch.
So
That's the
it's-
thing.
It's going to be good if they can actually bring two of those batters in early on in the game.
Well, if this guy set up the game for 7 overs, to be honest, if you throw in those guys, the last 13 overs, the combination of those 3 guys, can really, present something.
Into
Yes.
the and yesterday we saw that Redmond came in at the 8th over and had total control.
He just absolutely
Of the
just
game.
had answer for everything. He had an answer for everything yesterday. It was such a delight to see. So normalcy returns, and umpire Nusa Bonaragwe says not out and get the game going. And I think Prosper has his work cut out here. He has to just find a way to continue to unsettle these batters.
Which is definitely what he has to do.
Again, the block hole.
But that would risk for one.
Yeah. Their running is a bit tentative. A.A.U, you will say.
Yeah, you're right. If the way they run now was like they weren't even sure of whether we should go for it
Go
or
for
not.
it. And sometimes miracle is at sea. Plays the shot or something happens.
And then he just.
He needs to be, gingered to run.
At this point in time, they shouldn't have a miscommunication. A yes is yes, a no is no. You stick to that.
Absolutely.
Not no yes or yes no. You have to stick to one call.
Let's come back to your submission earlier on with regards to psychology in this our game. Is it something as a matter of national policy we could look to push through to top management?
Yes, it's something management should actually start considering. I'll give an example. The qualifiers played at Rwanda.
Yes.
The team in general had this disconnect with the strategy and what the players
And what
want
actually
to play.
want to do. Yeah.
So there was that break in between. You don't expect the coach to tell you everything
yes.
on what to do. He expects you as a player to also approach the game your own way as well. So that is where the gap in between being in the management level
Yes.
and being in the player level
Yes.
is where you have the psychologist come into play. He'll be able to balance, tell you, look, there are times you need to play as a player and there are
Yes.
times you as a player need to take the game into your hand.
Into your hand.
Exactly. You look at the likes of Virakoli. There are times that Virakoli will score ducks
Yes.
and he still goes into play that number 3.
Yes.
And then it's still the same approach he has
Yes.
when he scored the duck. It's the same approach he would still go the following day.
Get 100.
Exactly. So, but here in Nigeria, I'm sorry to say, but you see players score a duck, they don't go back and reflect, how did I score that duck? What did I do wrong? And then they come back the following day, they are not careful not to score a duck. So they are now trying to check. Whereas, or if you approach it the same way that you're meant to approach, you would get runs.
You are right, Yomi. I absolutely correct.
The bowlers of the under-17s are doing pretty much well, ensuring that the Ambrose Ali University Cricket Club are finding it difficult to score runs.
Where we are.
Very
you see, Miracle is getting into the groove, I would say. You don't want to do that. They're good fielders, this under 17. They cut.
Even with I personally would say, even with the under-17s being good with fielding, you need to take the fielders on as well.
Obviously.
Especially those who are on the 30-yard mark. If you're far away from the middle, I could take you on. There are some positions you can take on, like point, covers, and square leg, and mid-on, because those have direct throws to the wicket. Yeah. But guys like slips, guys like mid-off, guys like extra covers or mid-wickets, those outside, you can take them on. You don't really need to wait. And if you see a sloppy fielder, no matter what, you could just take a go at it. There's every chances that the fielder would actually throw an overthrow.
Does that bring to question our approach to the power play?
So generally, in the last 1 year, I have seen approaches to the power play, most especially both at the junior and the national level. I would say out of 4 batters, it's probably 1 batter that understands how to play the power play.
To approach the power play.
The rest are just, you know what, so since you're the one playing, let me just stay back and just allow you play most of it. And then when he goes back, it now becomes a problem because the next man cannot now approach it the way you expect it. I'll give a good example. The bilateral series held in Lagos. Ashmit was having a go at the power play, but the moment he comes out, it becomes like
it's a struggle.
If Ashmit is in, we're probably like 30-something or 40-something runs in 5-6 overs. And then the moment he's out, we're now struggling to probably score 160 or 170. The 3 games that I did the commentary with Musa, Musa and I had a go at it because I thought Musa, with the way Nigeria is approaching, we will score 90 or 100.
That will be the trend.
That will be the trend. But Musa was like, no, the batters were doing this. I said, look, the only guys who could score the runs are Ashmit, the Okwe brothers.
And the Okwe brothers.
The rest were just, you know what, let me just push for one. Sheson himself was switching on and switching off. Switching on and switching off.
Yeah.
Though outside the country, Rwanda, he was playing perfectly well. I'm having a feel that in terms of Sheson, in the country, it seems like he's struggling when he's in the country. But the moment he travels out, it's like he does breaks free.
He breaks free.
So, just like we said, we need, I think at this point in time, this is where, I'm sorry to say, I'll use this word, the psychologists need to play. You need someone who will tell you, look, how do you approach the power play? The coach will only tell you what shots to play. But the question is, the guys will tell you.
You've got to, in the midst of the issue.
Exactly.
You are in there in the center, you've got to find solution.
Exactly.
You know, because there are questions like target setting, strike rotation, you know, running between wickets. Those questions come up with regards to the power play.
And so 2 questions I always ask is this, and I've asked a lot of coaches, including Mr. Olisegwaswe himself. Which is the best approach to T20? Look for the boundaries or just rotate the strikes?
I would imagine that because of there's what is called the unknown. As a batter, you go in as a batter, opening batsman. You really don't know what ball is coming, to be honest. Do you? You don't. So, and as the balls keep coming, then you're taking decisions. So every ball is an event, and one event leads to another event. So if it's a great event, the first ball or shot, okay, he has had 2 decent shots now, but to fielders.
Which is
So-
which is the way the captaincy role plays.
Yeah.
Hussein Prosper is the captain of the under-17. He's currently bowling, but
Yes.
the field is controlled by his vice captain,
Okay.
which is what I expected.
And placement looks appropriately.
Appropriately, yes. He has the placement
Placed.
according to every single ball he bowls, or might probably bowl.
So you see, the same thing that we say, everybody plays cautiously against Prosper. No red flags, keep it safe and straight, and there are tentative drives, no wild swings. So you'll be looking at singles and twos. Nobody wants to go out there and say, oh, let me really
But the big question
have
is,
a big go at him.
But the big
I don't
question
know.
is, he traveled out of the country,
Yeah.
and he was during the tri-series between Nigeria, Kenya, and Uganda.
Yeah.
They had a go at Prosper,
Yes.
and it looked like the Prosper we're seeing today
Yes.
was not the Prosper we saw back then.
Back
last
then.
year.
But I thought that in the earlier matches he played, when he burst into the scene in Uganda, it seemed to be like the pick of the bowlers himself. And there were a few games that it seemed like when he came on, people were wondering how he was able to return decent figures, in terms of economy rate and even strike rate too. But I don't know, when he got to Kigali, the tournament proper,
He just went back. So I think
Yes.
that's where the management of the Nigerian Cricket Board needs to understand. There's an approach to friendlies and there's an approach to tournaments. I think friendly, people just say, look, it's just friendly. There's
yeah,
nothing attached to it. So I can probably play the way I want to play.
Yes.
But when the tournament's proper and there's a huge stake at it,
yes,
everybody just
switch
goes-
on,
Not switch on, they switch off.
they switch off.
They just switched off immediately. I've seen situations where at friendly games you see batters take a go at even the quickest of all bowlers.
For bowlers.
But when that same bowler comes to bowl in a competition level, it's like you'll be asking yourself, is this not the same guy you played during the friendlies?
During the friendly, yeah.
So what has he done different?
Still the mental psychology you talked about.
So finally, I have a coach who understands my mental psychology.
Yes, it's mental psychology they talk about. You're right.
I've told a lot of people about that, but most of them just don't understand. They feel I'm speaking because I support New Zealand, and I said, look, yes, I for the fact that I support New Zealand, and I understand how that is. That's why you see a New Zealand guy, if he loses this game today, he's taking beer the following
Evening.
in the evening. He's taking beer. He tells you, it's
Let
just
that
a
one go.
game.
Let that one go. I would think that they probably got that from the English in one sense, because
Yeah, the West Indies.
Yeah.
The way those guys play. We win, we lose, we just keep having
we just
fun.
keep going having fun, and there is a bit of there's a phase of this game now that looks like runs are pretty difficult. I've had like 6 dot balls on a stretch now, and that seems to be making the asking rate go higher. Or is it a case of let's create a bridge for a while, according to the batters, and then we begin the onslaught right from probably the 7th over to the end?
You can't be chasing 160 and be having dot balls, coach. You need to go all out in every attack. And what is required now is 135 runs in 80 balls. That's a lot of runs with limited balls.
Yes.
Now
And the batters have gone. Because those dot balls should be singles at least.
Exactly.
Rotate strike.
Now it's 135 runs in 79 balls. It's a lot because now the required run rate has risen to 10. Which means you need 2 boundaries per over. Now, is that an LBW? Not given.
Close call, but because I saw that bat move across the line and I was afraid for him, but he escaped. So now what do? They also are sensing that these guys also trying to set up something set up a platform like they did. And is it true that sometimes you learn from your opponents?
Obviously, you learn from your
You see the way your opponents went about the batting, and you say, okay, that's good. I thought I liked that. Now let me try and do that. I remember playing a game for Blackheath in the Kent League, and we were defending champions at that particular, and that was our first game in the new season, and we were up against Seven Oaks. Believe you, Yomi, we ran to 366 for 4. Captain produced 100, our overseas player from Australia got 217. You don't want to believe that they chased us right down, and we lost that game.
Even with the total number of runs.
They got 367 for 5 with 10 balls to spare. I remember I was playing as a bowler then, and you won't believe this. Their key batsman was Stephen Smith. Apparently, what a 6! That's a good 6 from
Solomon. Now decides to take on the bowler. Runs, obviously. That should be 4 runs. 4 runs it is.
It was a tough one there. So they got 8 runs in that over.
Which is what they need. If
That's what they need. They need to go at 8 runs and over for a fair while. And then let's see what happens when the slog ends.
I think the best option now is Solomon needs to take this bowler on. You've discovered that he's a slow bowler and he's not having so much turn. So it's a best shot of a good length, but pretty much low. So Solomon,
Are they getting any help from the pitch? You want to ask? I want to ask him.
I haven't seen
I
any.
don't see
I
any
don't
help
see any
from
help
this
here.
pitch. Looks like a dead,
Flat pitch.
damp squib of a pitch that is settle down and just bat. You see that? If you can just stay compact, just bat. Let the ball come to you. Keep your head steady. Straight bat, drive on the ground, woof. You get lots of runs.
Last ball to be bowled. Ooh,
That one kept low.
that's dead very, very low.
Kept low. Those are the dodgy devils. Dodgy devils on the pitch. Dodgy devils on the pitch. You want to see?
Yeah, definitely.
But that's the beauty of cricket. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's
Even
everywhere.
Even in the best of all pitches,
Yeah,
you see those kind of
and
balls.
bowlers can look for those areas, and capitalize on them.
Shane actually did look for those kind of balls. He was very good at that.
Searching for
the crack areas, and he will bowl it
Get
at
in
the crack
trouble.
areas. And it's the end of the 8th over. It's 36 runs, no wicket lost.
Yes.
It's definitely a very good
So let's
way
say
for the under 17s.
is it 36 runs and
Yeah,
then
that's 6 for 8, no wicket lost.
so they're doing slightly above 4, isn't it?
Just like you said, coach, we're
No,
probably waiting for the slugs to happen.
The
And
good
at this
thing
point in
about
time,
this-
I would have told the batters, take a go at it now. I can't have 9
because
wickets at hand.
you have absorbed the pressure, haven't you?
Yes, please.
You have denied them wickets,
Yes, please.
and so okay, now they're coming with Victor Samuel, the slow top spinner from the other end. Okay.
At this point in time, I probably will be expecting Godsent to have a go.
Yes.
Even if he has to lose his wicket, just lose your wicket. Because you have batters who can actually play spinners, like some Boniface and Ridwan. Because you need to rotate
Yes.
strikes. You can't be bowling you can't be playing dot balls.
You
need to
shouldn't
rotate
allow.
strikes.
You shouldn't. Pass go like that.
You should be rotating strike, not having dot balls. Dot balls are becoming costly for the side.
Oh no! Was that a miss stumping?
Miss thumping it is. Third ball bowled, 3 dot balls. This will be a very good call for the under 17s.
My thinking now is this: if they have absorbed the pressure, got a few runs on board, and then create a platform of last 12, last 10 with wickets in hand. You see, all over the world, teams produce 100 easily in the last 10.
Yes, please.
I've come to see. So, okay, now he has shaped up for that.
But that's pretty much too late because he went straight into the fielder at covers. for no run with just one more ball to be bowled. I think Solomon needs to talk to him. Solomon, you can't have a partner like God Sense and allowing him dot balls.
Yes,
He's wasting balls for you. Now he
Okay.
takes a goal and still straight
Still straight to the fielder.
A maiden over for the under 17.
Unbelievable.
And they'll be so happy about
Made
it.
it over.
Because now it has put pressure on them. Now, what is going to happen is the batting lineup has to change for
Okay, there's some
A.A.U.
instruction coming in, I guess. The guy is bringing in the helmet, and then probably with a few words in the ears, and then they'll
Probably have a change of approach.
a change of approach.
Now,
you're asking them.
Solomon Miracle. Solomon is on strike now, and he has. This is very interesting. Joshua is back on strike to bowl.
Joshua is the leg spinner who is expected to strike if he lands the ball in the right areas. You see that?
Misjudged the flight, misjudged the line.
Was that a googly? The other one?
Looks more like a googly, but not really a
Because I
googly.
was-
He just bowled
I
it.
know he has, a pretty decent turn, but that's why I'm asking the question. Is it a dead pitch that offers no help?
So it's best to say that the groundsmen actually prepared the batsman's track.
Okay.
The pace bowlers are not really making effect of it. Solomon needs to put his head down. He's keeping his head up and then not putting his head in line with the ball, which is making him
They
have
need to go for
difficulty.
broke. That's the way it is. At what point do they really begin this run chase?
I think it's
When
right
do
now.
we get this run
At
chase
this point-
going?
At this point in time, they need to get going. Now
Another
you don't
6.
bowl that short
Another
ball.
6.
You don't bowl short balls.
That's
to
another
Liverpool.
6.
6 cities.
So the thing is, when you get a sniff of a chance,
Take
get
it.
full marks.
Take it. Yeah, that's what Solomon has just
Has to do,
done.
yeah. A sniff. Once you get a sniff,
Now he has 2 more balls. No, 3 more balls he
it's
has
a huge
actually.
test for Joshua, honestly. Test of his character.
Characters, yes please.
It's a huge test of his character.
Solomon has 3 balls to redeem. Has to make up for the last over, which
Even
was
if they
a
get to 50 in the 10th over, it's still a platform set for something special
Definitely.
with the wickets in hand.
No, but I wouldn't think they should be aiming at 50. I think you're speaking from the fact that it looks like as if they are just opening the bat. They need to score above. I personally feel they need to be around the 70 marks.
70
At the 10th over.
At the 10th over.
Should be at the 70 mark.
But
Solomon
I
is-
noticed that Godsend has suddenly gone tentative and measured with his approach, which ought not to be.
You're definitely right. And it's gonna be a little bit sad if you have to retire him. And then when you
Which
retire
is
him
not,
and then you lose
Is
some
it,
more
the,
wickets.
is it the convention these days to retire players?
Good shots from Solomon.
So Solomon keeps the strike then. So with what you are saying, Solomon should keep strike.
Exactly. You know him truly
And
well
so,
that
yes,
that
Solomon should keep strike.
keep strike all the time. He needs to stay on strike every time. It's 10 overs gone, ladies and gentlemen. 45 runs on board. Still the loss of no wickets. Now you have 10 wickets at hand for the last 10 balls. Last 10
Okay,
overs.
10 wickets in hand for last 10 overs.
10 overs, which means you now need to take a go at this particular.
Have a go. They need to have a
They
go.
just need to.
With regards to their batting, with no loss of any wicket in the first 10 overs, should be commendable. Shows some form of fight.
Exactly. It's for a very good form of fight from the side. So Solomon. played that towards points?
As the field be precisely set in such a way that ball must go to fielder.
Solomon needs to take a flash. He needs to gamble with one of the balls. He needs to gamble.
No.
I felt that ball, if he had just taken one stride backwards, he would have played it over the bowler's head and straight to where that palm tree is, and that would have raced all the way to the boundary for 4.
You know the thing about this T20, it's unforgiving, it's frantic and urgent on you.
Well, that's true.
So that's another aspect when you bring the mental psychologist into this game. How to drive that point home, and that point has to be managed by players and teams. Yes, you must show some sort of urgency in your approach.
At this point in time, if the boundaries are not coming, we'll take the strikes. Point is, you need to score a run per ball.
And they need boundaries.
First approach, score a run per ball. But then when you see the loose balls, hit it hard. Flashed, but that wouldn't be so fast.
So they will get 2 runs. They will easily get 2 there.
So the big question is, knowing truly well the likes of Boniface, Victory and Ridwan
are still in the shed.
The question is, what will be their approach when they come into bat?
Well, they got to take the ball by the horn. If you ask me, they've got to take the ball by the horn. They've got to.
Good bowling from the bowler there to end the over.
So now you can see Miracle play. His approach is more or less what you would call the basic ODI approach.
Yeah.
A calm batsman that is not ruffled, not rushed. He never plays in a hurry. But then that's the bane. Could be the bane of their side. The tempo, the format of the game requires urgency. So that's where coaches and selectors have to zero in more closely on players, knowing people's peculiarities, their characters, their natural mien, and see how it affects their game, what will come naturally to them, so you know how to place which player in which team for which type of format, and that's what happens everywhere in the world, if you ask me.
Seems like this is a change of bowling for...
So they have David A.A.U now.
Is that a wide ball? When to play that? That looked like it's going towards wide.
It's amazing to me, the approach of the A.A.U. They don't look really
convincing, like, oh, finally the partnership has just been broken.
That one kept low.
Got sense, just got bowled. And the partnership between Solomon, Miracle and Godsense has just come to an end. And the introduction of the new bowler,
David
A.A.U, has broken the partnership.
So and in comes the captain. Are we here ready to go to have fireworks now or something?
I would have expected the captain to drop one down, allow Boniface come in.
Okay.
Boniface is someone you know can have a go.
And get things happen quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Because what you need now is you need someone who can get things happening almost.
It's rapid fire.
Exactly.
It's just a rapid fire approach.
But he probably is thinking he's a very good batsman, and so he'll be telling himself, look, I have to play the captain in his line.
I can do it.
Captain's role. I can't do it. He might have done some little bit of damage with his bowling. But he's looking to redeem it with a bat.
Well, we've got a place of no return for him. Between the devil and deep blue sea, he must find a way out. That's where we are now. Between the devil and the deep blue sea.
It's 49 for 1 after 11.2 overs.
Yeah.
Required run rate has risen to 12.92 as they are currently on 4.32. And what is required to win is 112 runs in 52 balls. That's a lot of runs.
can we dare to dream of that type of performance that we see in IPL, where teams can produce 75 runs in the last 5 overs and things like that? They polish off figures, they polish off chases of 190, 200. Can we dare to dream of such a thing?
Miracle having a go off the first ball, but could only race down to extra covers for 1. 3 more balls to be bowled. I'm sure we could, just like we said. Yeah, I'm still putting a lot of hopes and techniques on Boniface. Solomon also now. I think Solomon.
So if they decide to say get a run off, get something from every ball, that should be obviously. I think we should be done blockings and dot balls.
Just like as I was about to say
Yeah.
before you said what was in my mouth. Very well played. Is that a catch?
6.
Oh, lovely catch! That should be the catch of the season. Picked right on the ropes. To me, that would be the catch of the season. You could see that catch would raise the momentum of this game. Miracle Solomon's wicket has just been lost, and the under-17 players have just rallied round to the fielder that took that catch.
Are they checking that?
I think they are asking questions if that was a 6, but to me, from us here, I think that was a lovely catch from the fielder. He held it perfectly into his hands.
6. Yeah, it says a 6.
Oh, the umpire reverts that and says
he
it's
was
a
on the
6.
line.
Like he was in the line.
He got it on the line. His leg on the line.
That looks very much close.
Yeah, it looked close to me.
That was very close.
Yeah, the momentum after the catch, the momentum. The umpire has called the 6.
Called a 6 for that.
Interested because you want to see some more pressure put on the bowling side. That's what I think.
I think the umpire is asking some more questions again. The big question is, what is the criteria on the basis of you asking that for a 6 if you do not have a DRS?
No, but the thing is, they have a third umpire. I don't know if the
third umpire is definitely on the other 10, so he's far away from it.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't be able to have seen the first initial reaction of where the foot is. If you had a if they had a DRS system here, you would have checked for that.
Well, I would say it's a localized mechanism for checks and balances here. You can imagine this.
So I would say that could actually, 2 things could actually happen into this game.
A makeshift pattern of assessing situations
So because right now
and reaching decisions.
it just means that that decision can actually demoralize the under-17 players.
Okay.
And then boost the morale of the batters now.
Okay.
Because now
to still keep the game open.
The game open. Because to me that was a fantastic catch.
Well, you won't take it away from the kid. That catch, anywhere, will be premium. So, because I thought the guy was right on the line.
He didn't move, because what he did was he wanted to run, but didn't run. Stayed on that line. Didn't move his back foot, and stretched his hand. At the point here, we thought that ball was going to go in between his hands, or probably push him to the back.
To the back, yes.
Yeah. But he held it tight and was still firm on the ropes. So the question is, what was the basis of getting that
decision?
Exactly.
That decision. So that's what I'm saying. You have the umpires have their walkie-talkies, radios. So maybe they have communicated with the bench. They have communicated with the third umpire who is sitting in the PCT shed.
But the question there, coach, is, even if the third
are they on the line?
Are they on the line? From where we are right now,
yeah.
If we could move the camera to it,
yeah,
there is no way he could see the young lad's foot. If he's covered with the bamboo trees,
Yes.
you wouldn't be able to see his foot, because you have to totally come out for that to be able to take that decision.
So that brings the question of the localized mechanism I talked about earlier on. Say, what do you call it? You know, people say tournament
Favorites
conditions,
of
tournament conditions.
Playing conditions.
Since there are no DRS here, so where is he going to rely on? Is it an information? Is it some sort of delicate information?
The best information you can ever get
is from the players.
Is from the players if he's 101% honest with himself.
With himself, yeah.
If it's 101% honest, he will tell you it's a 6 or I cut the ball. When you decide to revert
that
the decision, he has been honest with himself.
With himself,
yeah.
Yes.
But rather than say, oh, I caught the ball, but he knew that was a 6 just because he wants to win.
He wants to win, yeah.
But nonetheless, the game is still on.
Well, they have everything to play for now. They've got to go for broke, and let's see what they can actually. I think again, it's the story of the day. Victory, the captain, getting the scores absolutely, dodgy and I would say questionable. He has professional players on his table. What do you do with them? They're in the bench. What do you get the best of them? You have professional players on your team or your stable, and you leave them in the shed. So, for me, I'm here to help you win this game, and you let them keep them in the shed. What do we have?
Because right now it's going to put pressure on not just Boniface but also on Ridwan. That has raced to the boundary for 4. Good play by Miracle Solomon, finding the gap.
He's finding the gap.
Points and covers, and that should bring us to the end of the over.
So where we are now is the station where they will look for 107 overs.
95 in 42 balls.
95 in 42 balls.
66 for 1.
Okay.
After 13 overs.
Okay, they're struggling. They struggled.
I think there's going to be a change of ball from the umpires.
You want to change the ball?
Question is, what actually is the
conversion rate for the batters?
At this point in time, whosoever is coming into bowl, they need to take a go at him. They just need to take a go. So I think the strategy now has obviously changed. For the under 17, obviously at this point in time I wouldn't bowl Hussein until the last over 16, 17.
He has managed 2 overs.
2 overs, yes. So he has 2 more overs.
Okay.
Keep him for the 20th over and probably bowl him on the 18th
over. You're right. But I expected a bit more fight, and of course the selection of the batters. The guy who was bowled. Before he was bowled, he sucked up a number of balls, those dead balls, those dot balls. They didn't help the cause of this chase. But the way they are carrying on, it seems like they have something up their sleeve, the batters.
Yeah, I probably guess introduction of Victory is to have a go immediately.
Yeah.
And then that probably creates an atmosphere for Ridwan and Boniface, but you can't be having dot balls.
It shouldn't be.
If you want to play those kind of shots as shown by Solomon, you need to step your back foot and play those shots, because you have spaces between gully and now he just missed the line of that. He's taking his face away from the ball. If you're going to take a goal, keep your head in line with the ball, put your body behind it and let your hand flow with it.
Do they want to score 80 runs in 5 overs? It's amazing.
But not this kind of approach.
It's amazing.
Played up in the air, but can only race down to the man at long on. Good miscommunication, but they were quite lucky not to have run immediately. I think Victory wanted to, But Solomon was smart enough to know that he would have been at the danger end.
So this requires clean hitting now.
Yeah, definitely.
Requires clean
And
hitting.
I would have expected Victory to actually hit that on the ground. It's a fast outfield.
No, that's not the approach, I think.
He should have pushed that to a square leg for a
Yes.
single, because there was no protection on square leg. All you just need to do is put your front foot across, then just hit it to a square leg. There's no protection on the square leg side. Very well played. Timed that properly. Good to take 2. Just 1 run.
They need
They
boundaries.
need to take the boundaries and take the first
They
one
need
fast.
boundaries. They need boundaries, clearly. In fact, I just they need 2 boundaries and over. That's what can even give them a sniff.
She decides to chase that, but would that race all the way to the boundary for
That
4?
won't go.
Yes, it does. 4 runs it is. I think the captain, Destiny, heard you right, coach. They need boundaries.
They need
So
boundaries.
he decided to go after that if foot stump. And that boundary, being the last ball of the over, takes his team to 72 runs for the loss of 1 wicket in 14 overs.
In 14 overs.
Runs to win is 89 runs in 36 balls. Thank you very much, the Weebles.
Well, so that sums up the story of today, that it's been a batter's track. Wickets have been so hard to come by. It's the first time I've seen such a thing.
It's actually quite good, creating a batter's surface. It means that if you create a batter surface and you have a very good batting side, you should be seeing 150, 200
Regularly,
runs
yeah.
regularly. But it will be unfair to the bowlers.
Bowlers,
as well.
that's the thing. Say, oh, no help from the pitch.
Yeah.
People will go home and say, oh, all day we toil and toil with no returns.
So the biggest question is, what kind of field set, what kind of strip do you prepare that favors both the bowler and the batsman?
The big question. More grass or what do you do? More clay?
Yeah, I'll probably
You
think
ram it a little
you
bit
ram
more?
it, make it a little bit not too hard,
Okay.
not too soft. Flat, basically.
Flat.
Just make it flat. Once you make it flat, even if you're a pace bowler,
Yes.
you still have that elevation you need.
Yes.
The only difference is the ball holding or is it moving quick?
Quick, yeah. What have they gone to now? They've gone back to Renet.
I think that's Hussein Prosper.
To ball.
Oh, okay, that's not Hussein Prosper.
They've gone to Renet.
That's Renet. No, that's A.A.U. Sosa.
Asusa.
A.A.U. Sosa is the one coming into bowl. Now he has Solomon to bowl to, who is currently on 36 runs off 40 balls.
Of 40 balls. Must keep
Good
on
approach.
hitting.
Would that race all the way to the boundary? No, it doesn't. Oh, it did in between the two fielders. Now you see what I
There's a bit of an obstruction there.
obstruction there, yeah. Now you see what I said, coach. That 6
Yeah.
declared
Changed a few things.
the few things of the game.
Okay.
So at this point in time, I would probably say the momentum of the game changed exactly at that
At that point.
point, which is the biggest question. How did the umpire come to that conclusion?
Okay, so that's going to be a talking point for a few hours.
I think for the whole year till the next season begins. Till the next season begins.
Would that be the controversy point of the game?
It's obviously the controversy point of the game. Because it was, give it to the young lad, held the ball perfectly on the boundary line. It's more difficult to take the catch on the boundary line. I feel at the boundary myself, and I know very well that
so Miracle's having a go now. Okay,
just 1 run.
so they get 5 off 2 balls.
I feel at the boundary myself, and every
Okay.
time I see those kind of balls, the first thing I tell myself is, where am I standing?
Okay.
What is right behind me?
Okay.
So once I can pull my foot and I know 1 step backward is the boundary,
Is the boundary.
I now stamp my feet down and then try as much as possible to hold the ball so it doesn't push me back, because obviously the ball is coming with a force,
With a force.
which was what the young lad did. It only takes experienced fielders to field on the boundary. Would that be a wide?
No, it goes
Not given by the
it gets,
umpire. Victory seems to not be moving his back foot to the
Yeah,
ball.
that's what I noticed.
You want to
that's what I
play the
noticed.
ball to point, and you're standing on the leg stump, and the bowler is bowling it on the fourth stump. You have to move your back foot, or you trigger in to play that shot.
Some of all these things, instinctively, questions are asked of the batters, and they have microseconds.
Oh, very
They
well.
have microseconds to take decisions that may affect footwork, body alignment, and so that's why you find that
So
sometimes.
I've watched a lot of Indians back then when ODI was. You see most of the batters of India, they ask for the leg guard. They
Yes.
stay on the leg guard, and they know where the middle stump is. Once they take that back foot, the first foot they take is the back foot, not the front foot.
Yes.
Once they take the back foot, they know I am between middle and leg. The front foot does the rest. But here in Nigeria, when you see young lads who try to take that kind of, is that catch? Yes, it is. And finally, Victory.
Victory is gone.
it's gone. This time there was no question about that catch. It was played and the catch was taken. And now you have Ridwan. I
Yeah,
would
it's
have
always
still
five
said Boniface should have come in now.
I even think Ridwan, in the context, in the light of the context of this game, this idea of saving your best.
for the
For the
last,
rear.
it doesn't matter
Why
at this point.
Why are we
At this point
so
in
prone
time,
to that?
at this point in time, I would have expected Boniface to enter while Victory entered. Boniface would have had to go immediately because
Yes.
Boniface has a strong arm and he's going to definitely play the shot correctly. At this point, if it was Solomon or Boniface, if any of them was there,
Yes.
had gone out, I could probably have Victory or Ridwan. At that point in time, you already know that there is something to go after.
To go after.
Now, Ridwan is a gentle, calm, easygoing batsman.
Who should have in this game should have
Should have
opened the
opened the
ball?
button. She
Open
should
the
have
button.
opened the button with. At this point in time, I probably would have opened with Ridwan and Solomon
And
because
now-
they're experienced. They know
Yes.
you need to take a go at.
They know you've got to.
Because right now, if Ridwan loses his wickets, you have Boniface, who's a very good hitter.
Yes.
Now Boniface loses his wickets.
And that's it, bingo.
the end. That's where you see the likes of Hussein Prosper now go after the rest of the
The rest of the
wickets.
wickets. You see, T20 is such a frantic and urgent format of this game. It's not forgiving at all. Once you get it wrong in terms of deploying of your personnel, you find yourself you are trying to catch the game. You are playing catch up. That's what happens. If you don't deploy your personnel appropriately, you will be playing catch up.
Ooh, misfield there, but he was lucky to have a backup. And 1 run taken. Now Ridwan is on
So
strike.
Ridwan is going to have probably
He has to
almost no time to play himself
play
in.
himself in. As it's 15 overs, ladies and gentlemen, 80 runs on board,
80 runs on board
81 runs to win
in 5 overs.
in 5 overs. So technically, you need 3 boundaries per over.
And this is the type of thing I saw teams like Mumbai Indians do, West Indies do in World T20s, in IPLs. That's why I said, can I dare to dream of such
having
things?
such right here.
Buccaneering onslaught in the death with a bat. That's what we are looking at.
We might be lucky to have one.
If
but
Boniface is in the mix, Ridwan is in the mix, Miracle Solomon still in the mix. So let's see how they go at it.
now Hussein Prosper coming to bowl.
16 runs and over is what you need.
Good strategy from the bowling department. Bringing in
16
Hussein.
runs and over. So they've got to have a goal.
They just have to have a bowl. Now you have to have a go at this bowler.
It is no forgiveness. He's gone.
And he's gone. Now because of
Wicket
the
to wicket line.
because of the situation of things,
Wicket to wicket
wicket
line.
to wicket, you start
That's
getting
the
wickets.
strategy. You bowl wicket to wicket line. You miss a hit.
Solomon Miracle's innings has now come to an end. And
Ramosela is on his way now. He's coming in, Emmanuel
why
Ramosela.
are you still keeping Boniface back
I have not done. I don't know.
on the bench? Boniface shouldn't be on the dugout. He
Ah.
should be right at the middle now.
A tactical blunder, you will say.
From the I think at this point in time, Victor Aguigbe didn't have a strategy from the beginning of the game. Right
A
from his
tactical blunder.
bowling, and it's a very, very. So if they should lose this game, it's due to.
No, that's what cricket does. Cricket is obviously it's about the captain most times. Decisions that have been made, and then how players respond.
Responding and all. New batsman in is Eromosele Emmanuel. Can he have a go? As Hussein taking the third
I
wicket.
expect him to have a go. At this point in time, they are consigned to fate. Fate has consigned them to be urgent. Because it's so very nearly the end.
If not the end.
If not the end, they have the nozzle of the barrel is right in front of them.
Give it to the under 17s.
You have to.
Both in the bowling department and the batting department,
have to.
they have done extremely, excellently well. And he has just bowled another wicket.
So now he's on a hat trick. He has so suddenly he has turned the game in his head.
In his head.
Prosper has produced something. Well, again, that's what he is about, and so that's the mark
But
of his
we
class.
knew from here
Yeah.
that he was going to bowl between the 16th and the 17th over.
Yeah, he's bowling the 17th over
He's
now.
bowling the 17th. We knew he was going to bowl.
Okay.
I expected the batting department of A.A.U to also have that same. You know, this is the only prime bowler this team has,
Yeah.
and can go at the wicket. You should know when, if he's going to come into bowl, who is in that middle.
Yeah.
What approach should
What
you do
approach?
at him? But now it just seems there is no response, except now you have Boniface coming in, who now is going to be under pressure because right now is an hat-trick ball.
Yes.
So the question is, would it take
See
a
it
flash
off, see it
or
off.
just see it off?
Let's see it off. So you see, what we said earlier on was, what do we do with Prosper? That's the swan song here.
Exactly.
So what strategy is best? And for him himself, he knows very well what is coming at him. Teams want to see him off. So he's been measured with the way he deploys himself. And I guess it's paid off. So it's one captain getting his strategy right and another captain blundering.
Yeah, definitely.
so-
that's what has happened.
So that's what has happened.
Very well
and he has
played.
kept the wicket to wicket line.
Which is what he needs to be
He
bowling
needs to
right
be
now.
bowling.
That's what he needs to be bowling. He doesn't need to do anything extra. Bowling wicket to wicket, and you will get your runs. Boniface denying Hussein Prosper an hat-trick. Now you have Ridwan and Bonnie with just 4.3 overs left to score 80 in 27.
Wow.
That's a lot of runs.
It's a tough ask if you ask me.
A huge,
It's
tough,
a really,
huge
really
tough task
tough task.
for the two batters. Experienced batters
Well,
for their
That's how,
side.
this is how it has been for the league for this year. And the 17s have come and have proved their mettle.
Read one. Oh, very well. Both will read one.
It's going to be challenging. It's
Both play for the national team and are
Yeah.
technically the youngest two players in
players.
the national
This
team.
is going to be good contest. But I think it's pretty unfair with the way the timing given to Ridwan to execute.
Pretty much unfair.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would have
not
expected him to come in as
A
number
lot
3.
earlier.
Now he's just forced to take those runs. And now Boniface at this point in time has a lot of tasks in his hand
In his hand.
because he needs to flash his bat properly at every ball bowled.
So
Last-
after this, it's going to be last 4 overs.
Last 4 overs, which obviously we would know Usain Prosper might probably bowl the 19th
That's
over
the 19th
or
over.
the 20th over.
Okay.
One of the two. Started wide.
Okay.
Wide and one.
Okay.
Seems like the wicketkeeper is injured.
So it's wide.
Yes, wide run.
Okay.
Wide one, that's 2 runs.
That's two.
So at this point in time, I think what should be running through the batting department of Ambrose Ali University Cricket coaches is
Yes.
he's going to bowl 19 or the 20th over.
Yes.
You need to tell the batters any bowler coming out, they need to take them on.
Yes.
You don't need to do dot balls. You need to take him on even at the lowest. Is that a nick? Yes, it is.
Yes.
And Ridwan has just lost his wicket. And Usain Prosper has just struck again. He has taken 3 wickets.
Yo, I mean, this is a game, honestly. I don't know what to say.
It's just the class of the under-17s.
I think they really revved it up. They revved it up and
Right from the first ball. They
yeah,
had the
they
ball.
revved it up. They revved it up.
They had it all from the first goal.
They revved it up.
It's 84 for 5 after 16 overs.
A.A.U probably has been completely outplayed as it is.
Who's the next batter coming in? Boniface now, if
He has the lone.
he has a lone, he's the lone soldier right there in the middle. Now he has to be on
The
strike
pressure is too
every.
much.
He
The
has to be
pressure
on
is too
strike.
much. The pressure is too much.
Just gonna be too
It's,
much.
it's boiling hot here. Honestly, pressure cooker.
Ooh, it's really strange. I'm just looking at it right now. Usain Prosper has actually bowled 4 overs. Bowled 4 overs, 1 maiden, 14 runs, 3 wickets.
Whoa! So he's gone.
So he's gone. So it means in the next 24 balls, if Ridwan had known, he should have just stayed.
Dreadful, dreadful.
If he had known, he should have. That should have
So
been the communication.
he got. You mean Prosper got 3 wickets in his last over?
in his
then?
last over.
No way.
That you see, the communication from the A.A.U bench to the batters were not just there.
That's what I'm telling
If
you.
you would have just told Ridwan is
See him off.
See him off. It's the last over. It's the last ball. Just see him off. I believe that would have been the same communication they would have told Boniface.
Exactly.
But now we have a huge one. Very, very huge.
So, is there any sniff? Is there a nilly-willy chance of breaking through
Nah, I don't think there is. Except if Boniface wants to now start taking sixes, just like his jersey number is.
this? Okay.
If he wants to start taking the sixes, because right
Okay,
now,
and is off and is the spin coming?
yeah, he's a spinner.
Okay.
So he needs, now at this point in time, he just needs to attack. Now the good thing is he's facing from the shorter side of the boundary of the field. So it means if the bowler is bowling it on the fourth stump for him, all he needs to do is play it above covers
For 6.
for 6. If he's trying, or he just plays that proper pull shot, and that would race all the way to the shorter side of the boundary here as well. So now he's looking at the field again. He has to take a go at this. He just has to take a go at this. Misses it. Wicketkeeper also misses that,
Okay, they'll get 2 easily for that.
which is what they need to do.
He needs to
Boniface
be on
needs
strike.
to be on strike all through. And he also needs to count the balls.
Yes.
It means first ball, second ball, third ball, fourth ball.
They're looking for 16, isn't it?
They're looking for, now they're looking for 77 in 20. They're looking for 75 in 23 balls.
Okay.
You don't play such shots. If you want to play across,
he's got to take.
you have to take it properly
I think the pressure, they play themselves into the pressure.
from the
And
very
they-
first
from the
ball
very
of
first-
this
and
game.
their batters who ought to enforce the runs were thrown into the waters. I thought Ridwan should have started this game.
We could only think, coach, that's what you need. That's the approach, but you can only find Usain Prosper, who is quick on his feet, stops that from going to the boundary for 4. And Boniface is still on strike. 2 runs it is. Boniface needs to start counting the balls. This is where you see mental toughness come into play.
Yeah, Prosper has cut off number of boundaries over there and has a huge cut following there from the crowd. What is he doing?
What's that? What was that? The bowler has not even bowled. You're already showing the bowler what you need to do. You don't do such. If you're gonna bowl,
no.
if you're gonna play such, you allow the bowler bowl the ball and then you play it.
Decisions that batters take in crunchy moments.
Sometimes it's quite alarming.
Amazing, honestly. Okay, that should
Now,
be a 6.
that
Should it be a 6?
No, that might be a 1 bounce 4. Ooh, good pickup there from
Prosper again.
Prosper again. Love the pickup. I think now has more fans on the 10.
I tell you, he's cutting everything, cutting off everything.
Which brings his experience he has both at the national level to play.
And that's the captain again.
Yeah,
of the team.
he knows if he wants
So-
to win, he needs to
so-
cut the boundaries.
Now, on the flip side, the opposite captain dropped catches and
Shots from
good.
Boniface. He just needs to take
field.
1 run because it's the last ball of the over. Good thinking from Boniface.
Very good.
He had opportunity to take 2, but he knew that was the last ball, which means he needs to stay on strike.
In 18 balls, what do we need?
70 runs.
So that means 25 runs and over. It's getting harder.
This is the first time I'm actually seeing a run rate at 23.33.
Asking rate.
Asking rate.
Oh, dear.
23.33.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Very, very huge. Boniface, can he produce 6s? Because now he needs to take on every single bowler that is bowled at him.
Oh no. So nearly the end.
And obviously, is he going to be the Carlos Breathwaite?
Yeah, that's it. These are dreams, isn't it? Stuff of dreams we require now, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. And it would be amazing if he can actually take this game away from the under-17s
He needs to pull off something dramatic.
in this particular over. He just
he
needs
needs to pull off something dramatic.
He just needs to.
Stuff of dreams we require.
Plays the sweep shot. 1 run taken.
Okay, he's off the strike now.
Now he's off the strike. Now he has to communicate with the batter. That's success.
Yeah, that's successful.
He needs to push for a single so Boniface can be.
They're
on strike
going to
again.
maximize what they can get off Boniface.
Yeah. Very well played.
Straight away.
Are they trying to go for 2? No, Boniface says no. He's comfortable with 1.
It's a clinical performance from the under-17s, I would say.
Yes, it is. A very good clinical one. They've done it from the very first ball of this game. And they have done it so well.
So what it portends for us is we are expecting to see a strong. Oh, now
Is that the catch? Or would that race all the way to the boundary for 4? Good pick up there from the fielder, but 2 runs it is. Boniface needs to hit the ball off the middle of the bat. He doesn't just need to swing.
needs clean
He
hitting.
needs clean hitting. And now he needs to use this power strength to play those balls. But at this point in time, it's just safe to say that the under-17s are in total control of
Total
this game.
control of the game. They have outplayed everyone.
Exactly.
in the tournament.
2 more balls to Boniface at this point. Either hits a boundary or stay off strike.
Yeah.
Two more balls to be bowled in this over. So all in all, coach, it's good to say that the 2021-2022 season
Yes.
has been straight to
That's
the
another
fielder's hand.
wicket.
Boniface has just lost his wicket, and that is the end
of the chase.
of the chase. There's no response again.
So in
From
other
our
words,
end
the
here.
under 17 boys make sure that every arsenal that the A.A.U players presented, they seized it
They
from
seized
them.
it from them. We thought
Like, they disarmed them, absolutely.
from the very first goal.
They have disarmed them. That's what has happened.
So a twitch in the whole situation now. If I was just imagining, if A.A.U had batted first,
yes.
would we be seeing less than 100 again?
Yeah, we will be saying less than, because that's what it's showing. That's what is showing. That's what it's showing.
It's 95 for 6 after
So that's
17.5 overs.
So they'll barely just hang in there. If they do a yeoman's job at the end of
Yeoman's job at the
proceedings,
end of
they get to 120, and that's what I was predicting. I was telling the chairman at that time. He was asking, what do I expect? I said, well, a fight back. I expected a fight back.
But we haven't seen a fight back. What we're seeing is just a roller coaster for the under 17. Both in the batting, fielding, I think in all aspects of the game, they have done extremely well. Batting, bowling, fielding, they have held their nerves high. And
Coming back to what we said, Yomi, about the league being more of a developmental league, where you see a lot of kids all around, and the policy being expose more of the locals, gave them game time. What are the pros and cons of this?
One of it will be basically the fact that the younger generations
Yes.
actually seeing their mates perform perfectly well,
Okay.
which is the under 17s. So
Okay.
it gives that room for you to have younger generations understand that, look,
Growing.
this developmental program is actually made for you. So if you go through that process and through that plan,
Yeah.
you would have more games, you would develop to this level,
Yeah.
you'll become more competitive. So it's just like an easy progression for you. And then to the veterans and the experienced players, it just shows that your time is gradually getting to an end in terms of cricket as a whole.
Okay, on the flip side, close watchers have also said, because we have the under 17 unit,
Yeah.
standard training program, you understand, training program, skills work is going on. So there are quality players in a setup, well drilled. Should we go for the other option of ensuring that they don't just remain there as the club and rule over every other team, every other player, every other club? Could they say, okay, we have the under 19 players are spread amongst
Clubs.
the clubs, but that's not to take away from their normal program for the states.
Okay.
The state program of preparing them for competition can go on, but in terms of the league, they could be not just in one team. So that strengthens all the clubs, and then we could probably have a more balanced fight.
So I would say that that's a very good way to approach it, because
Yes.
obviously this under 17 lads won't be 17 forever.
That's true.
But few of them would definitely have to leave this team, and the moment they leave this team, they would have to be drafted into different
That's what
clubs.
happens. Yeah, that's what has happened so
what,
far.
So what it means is that you're probably going to keep like 3 or 4 players left
Still within the
that age range,
Yeah.
who will now be the senior players, and then you now have the younger ones join.
join.
So it now means you need to spread these players in different clubs. Do not have
yes,
too much of them encompassed in one team.
in one team. Yes.
You need to spread it around so that it becomes evenly balanced.
Yes.
It's going to now become competitive
Competitive. Yes.
in terms of league format. But the moment you have 4 under 17s in one team, it becomes like a one-sided
Already.
So you need to spread it around. The same thing also I believe should apply with the under 19 as well. Spread the under 19 rounds. If you have a pool of 200,
Yes.
spread it all around
All around the clubs.
and let it be evenly balanced. And now it might not really be giving you that product that you need.
You need, yes.
But over time, you will now discover that by the time the under 19s and the under 17s get to the 21s and the 22 age grade, they've had
yes.
more games.
That's
and
true.
now they've had the experience to play cricket. So at that
Cricket.
point in time, if you have a team like this on the 17 side, it's just going to be like, I'm sorry to say, the experienced players running through them. Because right now what you have are mixed players who have played from the under-19s to under-17s to the under-19s, but like different clubs, and have not played. He's just been stumped.
That was been stumped.
I think at this point in time, it's just safe to say that the under-17s have won this game.
Yeah, you're right, Jimmy. So it should be a talking point after this game that going forward. You're welcome. You know that no other club has a structured training program like the under-17s have.
Okay.
So it will be fair to say there will probably be no other club that will be able to stand up against them.
Yeah, you're definitely
based
right.
on the fact that they have a well-designed training program.
Yes, please.
And by the very nature of the way all the other clubs are arranged and put together, they just turn up and play, they go to work, do their stuff, and then they just turn up and play on a Saturday, on a Sunday.
Exactly.
You know, so for the purpose of the league and the presentation you want, the output you want in terms of the league, people want to have a standard league where there's healthy competition, there's rivalry, not just a competition where everybody's just looking forward to playing catch up with one team.
Yeah, exactly. So as interesting as it is, coach, it is 97 for 7.
Thank you so much.
After 19 overs. Now they require 64 runs.
Okay.
In 6 balls. How possible is that?
No, that's a pipe dream.
How visible is that? Now
Thank
it's
you,
safe
dear.
to say that the under 17 cricket team has victoriously gone unbeaten in the 2021-2022 Edo State Cricket League, sponsored by Pet Foundation and LUSHVILLE Hotel and Suites. Now we're waiting for the last over to be bowled. This has been a very good performance, and I must say it's not the kind of finals we hoped for. One-sided from the very first goal.
You are right, Yomi.
It's just one-sided.
Well, that's just what it is.
But you and I, coach, can actually ascertain that if you create a proper batting surface, groundsmen all around the country can create a proper batting surface for.
We can see good cricket.
We can see good cricket. We
Exactly.
can see runs being scored.
I agree with you.
If you have an under 17 side, they can score 160. So imagine the likes of Kaduna, the likes of Lagos.
Yes.
That has or the likes of Edo that has good batsmen.
Yeah.
How would they be?
They can approach it. Yeah. Oh, that's the end.
And he just got bowled. We knew right from the moment Boniface wicket lost that there was no response again to the A.A.U. And you're definitely right, coach. The strategy by A.A.U. from the very first goal was just not it.
And we have to have a good look at this. When people say save your best for the rare, shield your best for the rare, that's never worked.
In this situation, it wasn't even working. You shouldn't have saved your best for the rare. I think where the strategy for A.A.U. was lost was the moment Victory came to bowl his third over.
Huh?
He shouldn't have bowled. He was so expensive. 4 boundaries back to back. 16 runs
You threw the game away.
in 4 balls. That was really tough.
Then do this. Okay.
5 more balls to be bowled. And they will take 1 run.
Well, like they say in England, Australia, New Zealand, it's time for the bars. It's time to open the bars.
At this point in time, it's just best. Just go to the bar, to the pub, and just go drink.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Let the game end. At this point, there's no miracle you could do with the bats. There's no performance you could do with the bats. You can't keep just bowled again. Another weekend.
Just delaying the end.
We knew what was going to happen. Whether it was in the 17th over, the 18th over, the 19th
delaying the
over,
end, they're still delaying the end.
Yeah.
I think what's going on now is the competition for who gets the man of the match prize.
But with the way we're looking at it, it's definitely going to be someone from the under 17s. I won't be surprised if it goes to the 2 batters, one of the 2.
Well, that brings to my mind, Yomi, the pattern or the selection of players for matches by the cricket rules. Have you ever thought about
a lot of parameters have been
a lot of
parameters have been put into place. With I think Ricky and myself and some other guys have asked the cricket rules guys what's the parameters, and there were a lot they thought about that. At some point in time I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
You put too many parameters that the game situation should actually dictate what is happening. I've seen situations where someone scores 20 runs, and you say he's the man of the match. And I'm like, what about the fellow that took 4 wickets or 5 wickets? He should be the man of the match.
Is it something that is computer generated or what?
I think from the software end, I think it's
software,
it is generated by it.
Another thing I'd like to say at this point, Yomi, is that you see the current trend of you and a few friends coming together to stream matches and try to, I imagine all the processes you put into it, the background engineering and all that. It's really commendable, and it's been inspiring to me because I look from my end, when we are there coaching and do all that work, and when it's time to lay this out and I see how you all put up and set up, I think you have come to drive the process a little bit better for Nigeria, and in our own way we want to keep afloat with the world.
So the major idea, just like I told when I sold the vision to some of my friends, when I think the vision was sold to the chairman of Edo State, Mr. A.A.U, who now doubles to be the president of Nigerian cricket, the point is, people in Lagos, people in Kaduna, cricketers all around the world, all around the country, should be able to watch cricket and should be able to follow the games. So it's an idea of, I want to see what's happening in Edo. If I'm coming to Edo, I should know what I'm expecting in Edo. If I'm going to Lagos, I should know what I'm expecting in Edo. Yeah. If I'm going to play against the under-17s now, and if they're coming to Lagos and they have to play against my side, I need to go back and see footages of the under-17s. And know what approach should do. Because now, yes, we don't have the full equipment as standard. And I
think that's about the end.
And that's the end. That's the last wicket. It's safe to say the under-17 have won this game right from when Boniface's wicket was lost.
It will be interesting to see who cricket rules will give the man of the match. Because I can see that Prosper has taken 3 wickets. Renette probably must have taken 3 wickets.
Yeah.
Have a look at what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. And now we're waiting for who will be the man of the match. And it's safe to say congratulations to the under-17 cricket team.
Yes.
As they are the champions of the 2021-2022 Edo State Cricket League, sponsored by Pet Foundation and LUSHVILLE. You'll be seeing the same few sets of guys in 2 weeks in Abuja, starting in 3 days' time for the PWC under-17 male and female competition. And coach, just to cap it up, the idea of the online streaming was the fact that COVID came into play. I watch a lot of county cricket. Even on Sky Sports. And then at that point in time, Sky Sports couldn't move around because of COVID, which was hitting the UK. A lot of the county guys decided to stream the games live
at that time.
And I looked at it and I'm like, if this could happen in other countries,
Yes.
why can't it happen in Nigeria?
In Nigeria.
We don't need to start on a full scale, start on a very little scale.
Little scale.
And we started on a little scale, and NCF bought into the idea and got pitch vision, which is really much expensive to get.
Yeah.
And they got pitch vision, and it's safe to say now you have pitch vision in the country, which is what will be put to test, which was actually put to test for the bilateral series, and now will be put into test again for the PWC under 17.
Under 17s, yeah.
And now it has even shown to most of us in Nigerian cricket that look, cricket is not all about umpiring, officiating, playing, and coaching. Now you can actually switch into commentary. Into commentary. We've seen players who retire internationally find it easy to switch into commentary.
Yeah.
It's quite easy for them because all you need to do is understand the game, understand the techniques, play the game, and then all you need to do is come and talk about what you're saying. You and I could see we were able to discuss the strategy played by A.A.U and the strategy played by the under 17, even though they couldn't hear us.
Yeah.
But we were able to understand. That is what I expect a lot of cricketers in Nigeria to actually start emulating. Yes, they might not be funds yet, but you'll be so surprised that when international competitions comes in, ICC, it will be so easy for ICC to tap into it. Rwanda is enjoying the benefit of it. Uganda is actually enjoying the benefit of it too. Now, with situations like this, we've been able to see that at the qualifier stage, both the under 19s and the national teams, we were able to watch all the games.
All the games.
Even though we were not there. Unlike before, the only thing we do is we wait, see the results, and then start asking questions. What did this person play? What did that person play? Oh, you should have used this person instead of that person.
At this time, yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you could see what the batter was playing, you could know, oh, was he merited to be in the side? Was he not merited to be in that side?
In that side.
So it's a long process that Nigeria still needs to go, but believe you me, it's a tough wicket. Took us years. But now we have it. I'm sure this is going to take, it's a long process, it's capital intensive, but when we get it right, that catch that we thought was a six would actually be reviewed.
So now with the pitch vision, can we be having reviews?
Yeah, we can, but it's a long process and we don't have the tools yet, because pitch vision, I keep saying it, only inculcated streaming into it was actually built for coaches to analyze players. But because of the trend of what happened in COVID, they quickly switched their software to allow online streaming. Coach, your final words before I let you go?
Well, I want to say it's been it's a wonderful series, and your coming has put an icing to the cake. We thank you so very much for giving us the opportunity to share the mic with you, and we hope that what we have seen will transcend to something special at the under 17s in Abuja, and of course be better for Nigerian cricket.
Yeah.
You know, to see young lads being able to come in there, put runs on the board, and put up, a clinical finishing. Actually bowling the side out in the 20 overs.
Yes, which is something good to read. Naim, I surprised you, coach, to know who the player of the match is.
Who did they give?
David.
Agbebode. Obviously, got a 50 and probably 2 wickets and got a catch.
So Cricket Heroes did actually pick this one.
They picked this one correctly, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, coach.
Yes.
And thank you for watching this game. It's from us right here at the city of Edo. We'll say goodbye. And
thanks.
Stay blessed. See you for the PWC under 17 regional finals in Abuja.
Start the engine, Romy.
Yeah.